Hello, lads and gents, and welcome to EON League Season number 2. We're coming around for the second one as we're heading into the group stage division number 1. Now, before we get into these matches, before we get ahead of ourselves and see the action, see the map bands, the operator bands, you name it, let me introduce you to my lovely caster who's going to be leading you through the game alongside Necris. How are you doing?
You called me lovely. Oh my god, that's
Yes,
so
I did.
nice. That's so sweet of you. That's really sweet. You know what? I already know this is going to be a great cast. It's going to be a great day because we have a lot of good teams lined up, and we have predictions lined up, my friend.
Oh,
And it's going to be some point of contention because I have made sure that I have voted against. Yes, I have voted against
I cannot
everything
believe
because
this.
it's completely blank. But it's fine. It's fine. It's a mystery. And for me, that's the best kind of game. I don't know who's going to win. Is it going to be the underdog or is it going to be the expected winner? But what matters is it's going to be a good game. What do you think about the first one, Puffy?
That's going to be Team Fraternity versus NXT. Now, clearly you can see that I voted for NXT, and so did the majority, besides you, Necros. You went for the underdogs. You went for everything besides NXT, which I still think NXT should be able to take with ease, especially going by the standings. NXT right now on third spot, looking quite hot-handed, as Fraternity is 3 spots below. So, statistically, it's seeming a bit more poor for them to be
Mhm.
going up against a strong team like this. But, I'm still having a bit of hopes for both of these teams.
I do too. I mean, in all fairness, I want every team to have like sort of an equal chance because if otherwise it's just completely like running over the other, then it's not really fun.
Yeah.
But I don't want a game to be played through attrition. It's one of the more least entertaining games like that because you just generally it gets pushed to overtime because every team keeps throwing their advantage and then the other team throws it, then the other team throws it, then the other team throws it, and it becomes kind of a foregone conclusion. So I don't want that, but I also don't want a one-sided victory. Here's hoping that there are many more intense games with back-to-back good plays. But we can take a look at the player cards and the team cards and probably analyze a couple of more things, don't you think?
For sure. Let's get a bit of a look for Team Fraternity over here, looking at the side of a full German roster, looking quite strong, and in general, seeming like Clubhouse will be their best map, Bank being the worst, not mattering much since Cafe is going to be on the line of today, which we will be seeing just in a second. But yeah, again, sixth placement, they're in the middle of the rack. Total win rate, it's a 50-50 for them. A total coin flip they're going into, but yet again, NXT, let's have a look at what they're rocking with for today.
Absolutely. These guys, I mean, obviously they are the favorites. All of you guys have voted for him. And okay, fine. The win rate is 67%. Best map is Chalet. Worst map is Bank, which is going to be quite interesting, actually. But
Mhm.
Chalet, one of the most default maps. I mean, not really much of a mystery there, and usually picked quite a lot, and usually banned quite a lot too. So I'm excited to see what other maps they're that good at. However, we will be okay. So that's more or less pretty clear. So we are going to be starting in cafe. This is
I love it.
I
I
like it. Yeah.
Yeah, I love it. I can't complain. I have not seen Cafe a lot. I am not too keen on seeing it, but I am very keen on watching these players go through it. Now, of course, the following matches, you said it earlier. We want them to be as exciting, right? Match 2 is going to be ranked 2-0 champs versus No Meanies,
Mhm.
and then Besiktas Sports versus Milana Titans. But just to get confirmation from the productions, are both of these teams ready?
Mm. Because they better be ready. The fight's coming to them, and I think they are. And we can kick this off very soon. Okay, they're not. So, see, this is the best part. See, this is the mystery I'm talking about. Puffo. That's this is it. This is show business. This is what I like about it, the unpredictability. This is what's going to happen in the game because every single time someone gets shot, until there's a kill receipt, you don't know what the hell's happening. So life is very much like that. And Eon production is also very much like that, which I love. Shout out to those guys, absolute amazing people. These guys are bringing you these games. So remember, we're just talking, these guys are creating and bringing this all together. So a huge shout out to the whole team, Yakuwa, Nick, and I mean unnamed gamer who's always muted in the channel, which is just so subtle, and he's just mysterious people all around. And to the people who are not here, also a huge thanks. And a huge thanks to the audience who are waiting patiently for the games to go underway. Buffo,
Yes.
you have a nice day written behind you, but are you having a nice day? I wanted to ask.
Oh my God! No one has asked me that before. Well, I am having a fantastic day. And I'm hoping to have an even better day watching
Mm.
these teams. So you said it, a lot of mysteries, and we have this whole puzzle racked up. But now we just gotta find those puzzle pieces and nicely place them in, just so we get our answers. And as we're slowly heading towards it, I'm gonna ask you a question, now, Chris. What about the next two matches we're seeing? Any predictions? Any hopes to get out of you?
I'm going to just say this. Whatever you voted for, I voted against. However,
Okay.
I have seen Besiktas play so much that
hmm
they're a team very close to me. I think I've casted so many games of theirs, and I'm a huge fan. So I voted for them, and I think that is the only one where I have kind of gone with the flow of voting. But the
Okay.
rest, be sure about that. I am siding with ranked 2 champs before that, and I'm, as you know, siding with the underdogs right now.
Team fraternity. I'm interested to see
Hmm.
what they can manage to pull out of their sleeve. Hopefully, they have a bit of a trump card lying around because personally, I've seen a lot of NXT. I've seen huge amounts of them, just like with Besiktas, just like with you. I am very close to NXT, at least I feel like so to the players. And Team Fraternity, I have casted a match or two at max, but that's about as far as it gets. So I'm going to have to stick with what I'm familiar with and still hope for Fraternity to bring us a good game, hopefully managing to bring it out of regulation. A really close match is what we're looking for, at least 7-5. Like you said, it's not a fun match if someone's just getting steam piled through entire matches and round after round. Like, it's just not something to be entertained by. Yes, of course, a spawn peak, a bit of aggression. We always love to see that. 7-0, it's honestly just kind of sad to watch.
Yeah, but I have also said this, Puffer. I don't want throws to be the reason the game is going longer, because that is quite a lot of times I've seen it happen. Like teams just lose composure. I'm really sorry, just
Yeah.
losing composure all the time. You lose morale, and you just keep kind of, you're pushing the game ahead. That okay, maybe I'm gonna win the defender round. Okay, attack is not really working out. I'm gonna go to defense, and then the attackers mess up again. Then the defenders are winning again. So it kind of equalizes out. Don't want that to happen, but we'll see what happens. Team fraternity starting on the defense side. What do you think will be the bans? Monty
Oh.
being the most obvious, obviously.
Yeah, honestly, when it comes to bands, I think I'm just going to stick with basics. I think I'm going to
Mhm.
stick with Valkyrie, very strong operator on defense, alongside with a Mira slash a zombie. Can be it's a bit of a 50-50 there. For the
Mhm.
attack, Monty, I can definitely see him out of the match, and Dokubi. But the first one is going to be cutting off my bingo the very first second. That's going to be the Ying first coming out from the side of Team Fraternity. Now, again, it's the second attack. I'm expecting either Ying or Monty. If you don't go for those, yet again, whoever's on defense is leaving them open, which is, yeah, it's going to be a tough time dealing with those two.
Absolutely. If you don't ban Dokaibi, you're going to be against Dokaibi in Cafe. If you don't ban Monty, you're going to be. What?
Okay.
Okay. Hmm. What I do suspect is probably NXT knows Team Fraternity, and that they must be knowing that one player plays Grim like pretty well. So I'm
Could be.
guessing this is like a player specific ban, if I'm not wrong. But
Yeah, maybe.
I don't know, Puffo. I don't think Grim's that great a ban. Mira, as you said, comes out. That's great. But Grim really is that worth a ban?
I think I would have understood it if it was maybe on Chalet or somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
But Cafe, I guess it's a map where it opens up a lot of head holes, a lot of footholds. So Grim, I can definitely see it. But yet again, leaving that Monty, the shield meta has been brutal for every single piece of Siege
Mm-hmm.
Corner, and I feel like leaving him out there is kind of a dangerous, like a rabid dog. You don't want to mess with it. But we're heading into the first round, and we're already seeing some interesting picks. The Valkyrie, she's available. User, probably this is one of her best maps, if not the best. And honestly, if Capcan traps, those booby traps manage to set off one kill, I think I'm set for the day, honestly.
I am loving the NXT lineup actually. This is absolutely brutal. You have a lion, you have a nomad. Okay, probably the blitz is changing, but you know what? I
Thankfully.
don't want it to change. I mean, frankly, all these operators on the attack side are so aggressive. It's such a high tempo lineup potentially that, I mean, it could be brutal. I can see Fenrir and like Capcan, which is great against these operators, but I'm really looking for just switching for Monty. Okay, Puffo. I mean, come on. There's an alibi on the opponent team, right? What do you want, man? For a gun? You're gonna pick that operator for a gun? Is that it?
I guess we're sticking with Monty. You know,
And
if it's there.
Sens?
Oh my god, I didn't notice
What?
that up until now. What is NXT cooking right now? And I'm starting to tremble in the thought that I voted for these guys. You better have something hidden up your sleeve right now, because if not, I'm not used to seeing Sens quite almost never. I think this is the first time I'm seeing him in competitive, honestly, for the past, what, 1, 2 months. But whatever the case is, we're doing a bit of a bakery push, going in a bit more aggressively, and thankfully Capkins are being noticed. And I'm hoping that NXT don't just completely one-side push this into traps and guns and arms of Team Fraternity.
I mean, it's certainly looking like they're taking their sweet time, but I have to say though, the Sens, I think it's pretty underrated, especially for a bakery plant. I think you can just, okay, just starting it off with a bang right now, a dent. He just shoots someone in the face. You just enter someone's house and it's alibi. You know what? It's so fitting, Puffo, that the alibi goes down first. Absolutely hate that operator. Such a waste. But you know what? It's all justice. And you know what I think Sens allows you to have that, that corridor of complete control. That if you enter this
Yeah.
one place and you're in bakery and you just throw up the Sens gadget, nobody can see you. You can get a plant down. You can get like a whole secure area down. Anything Monty is gonna be, properly holed up. It's gonna be okay. Speaking of that, he's gonna get shot. And now Monty dying to just guns, not even a grenade used on him. And the sense wall is up, but at the same time, a dent. He is taking more and more happening here. And Fave, he goes down. But there are more people to go down right now. Valkyrie, he dies, and Redent is on a triple kill. One more for him. This could potentially be an ace. The diffuser is getting planted. 4 people alive for NXT, and everything that's gonna happen for this attack lineup is happening. And Puffo, I think this is turning out to be quite a fast round one.
I think this is going to be a tick as a quad kill from Radin shows itself, and just to finish it off, the drop from Freezer won't be getting any further, but an amazing performance there, completely ignoring verticalities. Okay, the Monty got punished for it, but in the end, you put up a good amount of pressure, taking out the alibi as the first pick, then you just continued steamrolling into sight, just one after another, until all that was left was the verticality, which of course limits you to an angle or so, and in the end, not much space to work with, forcing you to go for that defuse. And overall, absolute cinema. That was first round, is going to be NXT's. And with it, I think Fraternity, while though you do have a decent gun skill, and I think they're quite confident in it as well, seeing as the run out from Legion was quite early on, but in the end, you gotta work your spacing around just a bit more.
Oh, they switched up a couple of operators. You're talking about working on the spacing. I don't want that alibi to be hanging around on the outskirts. Really, there needs to be some other operator, and they're going to go with like smoke and mute, which I really like. I think these operators really flourish in these kinds of scenarios. Um, However, I don't know. I'm kind of scared that this is too defensive a lineup. And again, this super aggressive. Look at NXT. These guys are picking mad operators, man. It's Capitao, Blitz, Ram, Ash, and Buck. They're going to be just verticality all day. This is crazy.
It's a gamble, honestly, they're going for. Just take it all or go home. That's the strategy for NXT. Right now, the Blitz is going to be quite heavy. Earlier, the Monty just wasn't fast enough for them, so might bring an extra boost to that operator. That's what the Blitz is, honestly. Just more an aggressive of a Monty to bring their Monty, great protection. What does it matter when the shield is sprinting at you like the Ash from back then? And the Formula 1 on legs is absolutely demolishing. Especially a bit of scary, a bit of horror to go up against. But in the meanwhile, opening pick, NXT, make it happen the second time, and they completely ignore verticality, and they basically have sight for themselves.
What a move, actually. I mean, they would expect that oh my god, he TK'd himself. Oh no, that's a disaster right now. The C4 really failing as a team, but It's fine. 10 health, 11 health, maybe one or two pickoffs, and you're evened up, but the diffuser goes down. The Blitz is still alive, and oh my god, they're not done. Every single person is paying their worth in blood. This Blitz is, he's insistent. I want to take your picture. I want to photograph this memory in my head while I kill you. And he did. He shot him in the chest. And it was so nice, Buffo.
I just wish Blitz didn't have such a flash setting on his camera. It's honestly a bit too bright, if you ask me. Have to force
Yeah.
Google glasses onto yourself without word and pick to deny
Yeah.
it. Whatever the case may be, though. Second round in a row, NXT looking hot, and Team Fraternity yet again same mistake. Focused a lot on verticality, but not on your sight. Even when verticals were damaging the Capital all the way down to 10, it still didn't matter. They just pushed into sight, planted, and now you're locked outside. And this is not Valorant where retakes are common. This is a very special occurrence where retakes are needed. And for 2 rounds in a row for that to happen, adaptability or what is the word? Am I dumb?
Adaptability, my friend.
Adaptability. There you go. Thank you.
Absolutely, Puffo. You were right the first time. One take, man. You're brilliant. No problem there. We got it. Because you know what? Adaptability or whatever, it doesn't matter. These guys, NXT, are staying as unpredictable as ever. What is this lineup? They're just
Oh
switching. I
god,
just
not
see
again.
operator switch. Like it's just they're not deciding. They just I think they just do like a Russian roulette or something, and they just
Yeah,
spin a couple of operators and they're fine.
for
Like who
sure.
the hell is picking glass with sense? What the hell is happening here?
I think they're just going on a pick a random operator website, just letting them go at them. Good luck to you, but it's a gamble. They're playing at the casino, and hopefully they're having a good time because right now they've won 2 rounds. And if this keeps on going, honestly, I have not much to say. But I do like Fraternity now focusing a bit more of their operators on the actual site and less focused towards the verticality, which is going to be leaving NXT a bit more
Oh,
focused to go for
again.
those frags. And the opening one, for the third time in a row, will be followed on by the second and the third, continuing to reign over and completely denying of any type of pushback.
And Tubarao threw an ice cream out the door. And he's thinking, you know what? Can you spend some time eating the popsicle and not killing us? Because these guys are not stopping. The plant is already going down, and Tubarao is getting shot at his 30 health. They found him. They found the map. Oh my god, the maestro has gone down. Every single person. It's a perfect round. No, it's not a perfect round. I think one person died. Last moment, but as perfect as it gets, Buffo. I mean, seriously, this is not looking good for Team Fraternity.
Yeah, and they're showing it. That timeout, 40 seconds, is all they have to talk it out, and hopefully they're going to be able to ruin NXT's tempo because right now the beat is going hard, and they're definitely running with it. I mean, look at the scoreboard, 6-4 already on Rodden and Jnoski, just completely demolishing. Well, Fraternity do have that one spread all the way up to Leon. But Jesus, opening picks after opening picks. Up here, it was a one-person trade for the count of 5. NXT, I
Mm-hmm.
mean, they're taking it. Fraternity do not want to continue like this.
Azinski, I mean, it's Radant and Azinski just infiltrating the site every single time and just getting those skills. It's not just that they get in, it's that they win the duel that they are engaged in. They never have lost. And yet again, now we'll see. Okay, you know what? Pay no mind to what operators NXT is picking right now because they're going to change it anyway. No
True.
matter how cute the Buck looks in his nice little dungaree or whatever the hell is, uh, it's it's not gonna work. They're gonna keep changing it. See,
Ah,
there's an IQ suddenly. Like, okay, you know what? I'm not gonna even pay attention there. We're gonna talk about Team Fraternity. They're sticking with this lineup. Like, they're so dependent on this maestro. I don't know if it's that good. Especially, I mean, it's 1F, so 1F generally on cafe I don't mind, but do you think having a maestro, a Val, and a Fenrir all three together and you don't have any outer control at all, does that help?
in this situation, no. How they were going? Oh, they also have two bulletproof cameras, by the way. If the Valkyrie, Maestro, and Ferrin weren't enough already, plus the Malusi for extra intel, It's honestly a bit too much. You definitely have a point there. Especially, I would understand earlier they were playing off of that verticality very strong, and I can see how the Valkyrie would help out. Go put up some Valkyrie cameras on second floor, some first to help you out if a teammate dies early in the round. But that is not the case this time around. It's completely transferred over to NXT, just either ignoring the verticality in your usage or going through you like you weren't even there in the beginning. But finally, Team Fraternity do return the fire, and the opening pick is now theirs.
Finally, we see a ray of hope right now. I mean, if you have killed one, you have to kill another. You have to kill another, right? I mean, that's how it works.
Yeah.
You have a Brava. He's literally take. I think he's gonna take over most of these cameras. Just like, oh no, he's just he's gonna take over a couple of Melusis here and there. But okay, yeah, that's gonna be an easy pick off. And okay, Valkyrie getting shot. The Maestro cam, that goes down. That's quite an unfortunate loss. And he has to put one up again. This is a bit slower. I mean, NXT usually has a plant by now, but even if they're taking their time, it seems like the map is under their control. The Brava is having like a free reign completely with those drones, and he's just scouting, pinging everywhere. It's like yellow pings every single place, and soon enough, the verticality will start coming into play. And every single person that's going to be hiding in a corner, Buck is going to be eating out of his hand. Right now, we're just going to be very patient if we're in NXT, and they're just going to wait for an opportunity to see someone. The verticality will take them very, very different places.
Taking some strong angles in the meanwhile. Leon not going down without a fight. Fave will, though, 4v3 brought upon us. Down to the last 1 minute and 10 as we're making a bit of progress. Drop down into Freezer. You've made some contention on site, but now you just need to push through that final barrier. You need to break it, and that's exactly what NXT are looking to do. You are in a man disadvantage. 20 HP on Leon will be having him in a rough position, but as long as you can get some picks, just equalize it. Get that plan down. Whatever the case is, you need a small portion of the bite to get that war under your belt. Now, Leon, he's been pinged throughout time and time, and he gets taken out. 3v3, trying to make a bit of a retake as Michelle just sticking by the bar, but Predictor read him like a book. Double for Shinny as the progress is made through. The Buck does manage to soft breach through with Reezer, and now it should be open for Plant.
I mean, it was almost looking like Team Fraternity had some sort of hold on this, but as soon as Leon went down, everything kind of just gone to hell right now, and just one Maestro holding it. That gun is insane, but is it insane enough? I don't think so. The plant is going down. He's going to be shooting. He gets shot in return, but he sticks it. This guy, he's a Chad, and he just finishes it off. Jobu, my God, you tried your best, but it wasn't enough.
Yeah, the Alta, you said it. It is a phenomenal gun. But it doesn't work too well against NXT. They still manage to swoop their way around, and I have been absolutely enjoying the way of gameplay. Either they use their drones, they go upstairs. Okay, there's verticality, we ignore it, we completely lock outside. It's locked now. You don't get the key anymore. And if the verticality isn't there, I will take it. They are completely switching the tide on Team Fraternity time after time again, and they can't seem to counter it because the intel is there's so much intel from Fraternity side that they don't have any intel denial themselves to leave NXT confuzzled, some may say, maybe just wondering what they should do. And in the end, even when at a man disadvantage, NXT, they just go about it as they wish. Fourth round in a row. They're on attack, by the way. So if they get the fifth, the sixth, I'm saying it's going to be a rough way of going into the second half.
I don't want to say this, but this could just be a clear-cut case of NXT is just better at the core mechanics of an FPS. I mean, you can use all the gadgets that you want. You can have like 50 Melusis lying down. You can have a Fender in the corner. But if you just get shot by a wide peak,
Necros, I'm sorry to interrupt. Look at Radin.
oh my God,
He's rocking the shotgun as well. He has the shotgun.
It's happening, guys. Yep. Thank you for that, Puffo. Okay, I'm gonna say this. Jobu, he finds one, but I think until Radon goes down, I won't really be happy. This pick is a grief. You deserve to die. I don't want an Amaru to be alive, especially in cafe, and especially in a plant that is literally the most prone to Amaru deaths. But he just got okay, fine. There's a trade, and RQ he gets Jobu in return, and now there's no Echo. No one's guarding the site. There's no real side defense if I'm really talking about. I mean, there's a Fenrir and a Legion, but no real side defense like the Echo. This is dangerous.
Very dangerous. The prey is what Fraternity's position is as of right now. But do they know about Randon's strategy? The shotgun SMG-11 combo has been deadly throughout defense and attack. Looking good. But the hatch play is what comes in cross.
my
Now the flash is coming out, completely shocked out. A nade kill, but looking to find the second. And so he does. The shotgun picks on. The second one for Team NXT as a trade comes out, but won't be going down without an amazing retake. And a 1v2 brought on. As of course the Doc is just trying to find some picks, bring it to a 1v1. It's going to be easier, but do you know where your enemies are standing? Because certainly team play is important here, and just like window play, they can repel outside, but just walking into the gun of Cast C won't be doing you any good. And now it's all down to Ren. 30 seconds, reserve 7 for the defuse. Shotgun up close is going to be a dangerous weapon,
Oh,
but
he
you
gets
don't
him!
look behind, and it's going to be the bailiff fade finalizing the round.
But does
The
he have time?
first round for Fraternity.
I mean, he has to find a diffuser fast enough.
Yeah.
I got it.
Okay.
God. That was, I mean, it finally got one kill, and that was the first round. Fraternity, but my God, I mean, I can only chalk this up to that. I mean, that Amaru, it was quite a heroic jump through the hatch, but only getting one kill, it's not really enough. And I think they're gonna like switch back to a more reliable, probably lineup on NXT. I think they had their fill of the giggles. So striker, I like the striker. They're strong. Okay, straight back to Monty. Monty, Ace, Lion, Nomad, and striker. Just this is going to be another clear cut. They're not messing around anymore. This is going to go in. But a Monty against an Echo. I don't know. I feel like if the Echo plays this well, catches the Monty unawares, and if just one person backing him up, the Monty goes down without a hitch here. The Echo can do wonders for you.
The puncture of Fraternity here for NXT has definitely been their intel. And they're going into the final first half with that exact same strategy. The Echo, the Mozzie, the Solus, the Valkyrie. I said the Valkyrie, she's strong on this map, and I can see them using it, especially with the map being so large in scale. But I don't think you need to know about every single corner there is on the map. Well, Team Fraternity certainly think they do, and if it's helping them, nope, I tip my hat. If it works, it works. Don't break it because it's good.
Absolutely. Absolutely. If it ain't broke, it is.
Exactly.
This time, I mean, unless NXT has completely lost momentum, I think they should have this. This is another one of their. This is their specialty lineup. This typical lineup that they run with. There's no trolling. There's no Amarus. There's no jokes going on. So I'm pretty sure that they're going to take this yet as cleanly as they took it like the last time. This is a 1F plant. It's going to be okay. This is a very aggressive one. And Leon, he gets Nyoski right outside, and that was a beautiful maneuver there. That is very good.
Well played. Using the aggression to your advantage as much as you can with the info that you have so much on hand of. Go for it. It works. You got the opening pick yet again, and it's looking like a good round. Just don't let them retake. Just don't let them get that pick back or a double. 2-for-1 deal is the most that they can go for. And for now, hopefully, you have it in your hands. Keep it in your hands. Don't let go of it. C4 is coming out. Verticality tries to get denied. Won't be working out as Team Fraternity will be getting a death brought upon them. But Michelle sticking around to support the comrade alongside with Fave. A double brought down to NXT, leaving the 2v4 on the vertical side.
And just like that, it all crumbles down for NXT. It was looking pretty okay, but now, I mean, okay, the castle goes down, but okay, people are just getting shot. As I say it, it seems like Team Fraternity just ran into a hail of bullets, and they just went down. And now the striker, he has this position, he has the information. I don't think it's going to be as easy as it was picking off the other members. I mean, this is going to be pretty difficult. NXT hold up very, very comfortably, and maybe the verticality will be favorable.
Attackers bomb diffuser has been dropped.
Just as you say, though,
Attackers recovered the bomb
that
diffuser.
so-called favor is brought down HP-wise. 110 rocking both of these players together for NXT as they're looking to find 45 on clock, slowly ticking down. You need to get that diffuser. You have it on hand, but you don't have the place nor any advantage to work with. You don't have enough intel. But Team Fraternity, with what they brought, they surely do. They have more than enough, some may say, and you don't have a lot of time to go through with it. Verticality is just going to be giving them more of what they've been craving for. The drop down does ensue. The intel is there. That sound cue is just going to be enough. Cross hold, but won't be enough to stop Shinny. He finds the first victim, but can he find the second? Knows about the location. Plant is going down very safely, but Fave gets the diffuser down onto the spot as Ranker tries to make his way through, but it just won't be enough. A triple for that P90 is going to be making its way through.
I mean, my God, the P90 is paying dividends for them. Such a beautiful maneuver by Team Fraternity. They just completely kept them going on circles. They didn't know. They were trying to move ahead, but there's every single time, there's always someone on their tail and on their face. There's nowhere they can go where there's like somebody just, probably chilling. Every single, okay, now they pick a sentry. Okay. I don't know if this is working out that well. Now I'm doubting it, but it's their first defense round. I don't really blame them, but maybe the brothers will be fortuitous for NXT this time around. Defense should be easy enough, right?
Yeah, Fraternity, you've wasted your 2 wishes of the genie on your first 2 defensive rounds. But now you have to pull through 4 more to at least focus on getting to match point, if nothing else. NXT, they're looking closer. They win 3 out of the 4 for Fraternity, and they're going. That's map 1 for them, and that's the only chance you get for today. They are in no BO3s. This is a BO1 throughout the entirety of these 3 matches we're going to be talking about.
5 seconds.
And Chris, honestly, the score, I would say this is kindly acceptable. I feel like a 4-2 going on to defense is still fine. Both of these teams are looking quite equal, I'd say. But Fraternity, consistency is what I'm worried about, honestly.
You're right. You're absolutely right. Consistency. That's the thing. And absolutely one of the reasons that I think many teams fail is that the switch up from defense to like attack or attack, I'll say mostly defense to attack, it kind of throws you around a bit because you're so used to kind of sticking close and letting the fight come to you that the change of tempo kind of gets you. Now, Team Fraternity, they got 2 rounds on defense. I personally think getting as many rounds on defense on Cafe at least, because it's pretty defense-sided as a map. I think it's imperative that you get more rounds here. But the fact that NXT got so many on their attack, that puts them in such a good position right now.
Certainly does. Could be looking a bit better going forward. Yet again, hopefully these consistencies were brought along into the role swap. As Team Fraternity could be going for a possible cheeky play, going outside of windows, playing very aggressive, and the jump in comes through mining. Now pushing on to AJ. He gets taken now. That's going to be one for Leon. Now next to site, you've taken train. Huge hold. Cut off a lot of rotation. In the meanwhile, put some pressure on the verticals. Could be enough of a distraction. Nade's coming through. They're making their advance, but they need to still somehow get to the execute.
Okay, I mean, there's a couple of sends going out into the terrace right now. I don't know, maybe after this pick, okay, fine, you got 1 pick. Now what?
Yeah.
You still have no part of this map under control. Most of you are just somewhere else and barely, I mean, this is the closest you can get. The sends as close as he is. But to enter the site and get a plant, and it's 50 seconds remaining now. Still seems like a pipe dream until they probably find 1 or 2 more pick.
Defense is still looking strong. You're still holding your ground. Fraternity completely limited to 2 rooms only. Earlier, you had a bit of verticality, but the second they know where you are, every single one of you stuck in this limited space, they're gonna start biting. and clawing.
Hmm.
And that's exactly what they do. A double brought down to a
God.
triple. The smoke
Oh,
and the
God.
ace out of nowhere. NXT take it back with only 10 seconds because that's all they need and just a gas canister to reveal the enemy's positions and to get them yet another beautiful round.
Like fish in a barrel. Like fish in a barrel right now. As you said, restricted to 2 rooms. It's not a good maneuver. You have someone needed to go like bakery or something. Probably make a rotation from downstairs. You need a roamer, especially against a team like NXT, because these guys are holding super close. Even right now, you see the way they have lined up. They have a Tubarao, they have a Goyo. They intend to do the same thing again. It's 1F. They're gonna take over the whole floor and have 1 or 2 people on the flanks.
Bomb
As
located
soon
by
as you enter
attackers.
this, it's going to be a horizontal maze that you're just going to be trapped in. There's not going to be any single angle that is going to be your advantage as an attacker. Defense is going to be completely on point. It's just, I love how fast they could adapt. And this shows why NXT seems to be winning more than they are losing.
Team Fraternity going about their really one dimensional pushes has been a bane to them. You go through this large process of clearing out a place, of going upstairs, putting up some pressure, wasting utility, and in the end, you just focus only on one side. Not even one side of the map, just one room, 2 rooms. You don't progress off of it either. You could go onto Pillar, you could make advancements onto the hallway, which they did at a later point only when they lost 3 players already,
Yeah.
which is just not the ideal decision of going about it. So, 5-2, looking one away from match point. NXT strong, have been holding it together. I do like Fraternity bringing again. They do like that intel. We see the Zero, we see the Jackal alongside the Dokkaebi. She's completely understandable, a very strong operator. But NXT, now they're on defense, and now they're feeling just a bit more aggressive than I think they ever have.
I mean, this Goyo is just hanging around Cigar, just jumps down to pillar. And I mean, okay, fine. This is enough information for NXT to find out what's going to happen. Now, fine, the Jackal is going to track him, but he's going to lead them on a complete wild goose chase right now. And right now, they have to follow the one lead they have. Every single person is on first floor. And this Goyo, as we said, he's just going to be waiting for a flank, distracting him enough, and soon taking it down until they make a mistake. Just look at him, just jumping around. These guys, they are absolutely following this exact footsteps of this Goyo. And he's just going to keep them running.
Yeah, I mean, playing a game of tag isn't going to be ideal right here for Fraternity. You've wasted a lot of time. I don't see much verticals coming out. Jobu needs to get on that quickly. While at it, NXT has been free to move throughout the entirety of their first floor, which just shows you have not been contesting any major point that would disrupt their movement, their rotations, their way of going about it when needing to retake or redeploy their man advantage. So with 1 minute, they get to it. Finally, droning out, you have it. And there's another obstacle in this course. And that is going to be the Goyos, the Legions, the Mutes, Tuberals. Necros, they still need to clear every single piece of utility that's right in front of them.
It's a gargantuan task. It's 40 seconds and they've not even reached the site. And it's so difficult because all the hatches are frozen. There's Goyos every corner. And every time you enter, there's an angle you're not seeing. The Jackal, it seems like this Jackal pick has not yielded them anything. I was talking about a roamer to enter to the vertical. That's exactly what they did. But it seems like NXT is just too fast on their feet. They knew there was something coming in. Okay, fine. Jobu finds a single pick off. Shinny goes down. But okay, that's something. They just jump down the hatch. They have to try something now. But oh my god, RQ, he finds Leon and more going down. But there's a trade. Wave again, but the Goyo, he burns him to death. That's more trade-offs coming on 4 seconds. He's trying to get the plant, but he's not going to get it. The diffuser is dropped. 2 versus 2, and that's round 1 for the defenders. My god, that was intense, and that went to a hell in a handbasket.
My goodness. My NXT right now holding Fraternity in a complete guillotine, just waiting for the blade to hit. As right now, with those 15 seconds, you know you can't clear out the first floor. You know you can't force the defense back into their shell. So what do you have to do? Honestly, just drop, just go all in. And that forces you to run into the Goyos, run into their lines of sight, and even good picks were exchanged. Of course, we love good frags coming out every now and then. But in the end, you're up against utility and the players, which is the main
Defenders,
focus
protect
of
your
the
bombs
time
from
you
being
have
defused
the
by
first two
attackers.
minutes, is to clear that utility so you don't have to run into the fire and the flames of a Goyo canister and get yourself downed and leaving your teammates in a worse position than they already are, being tight on time,
Attackers
players,
have
and
located a
what, the
bomb.
plant now being focused down to the last 3 seconds. With a guy swinging from your left, you're not going to have much to work with besides just letting the timer slowly tick down and see as the sixth round, the match point is now up against you.
NXT loves shields so much that they took a shield on defense.
10
Oh
seconds.
my god, no, I just saw that now.
Oh my god. As if Fraternity didn't have enough problems. They're gonna have a Dokebi, they're gonna have a Lion, and they're gonna have a Finka. It's such an aggressive lineup, but against a Clash, it all kinds of crumbles, you know? This Nomad is gonna be like super important to kind of to get the Clash off that shield, probably get a kill on the Clash, but my god, these guys are holding tight. And I don't know, maybe this time there is. Yeah, okay, so something just happened.
Oh
Okay,
good,
yeah,
oh good.
all good. All good. No kills have happened, guys. It's completely fine. And yes, I see the clash. I see a nice transparent shield ready to give a shiatsu massage for anyone who dares enter.
I think it's going to be a battle of wits between the Clash and Nomad. Nomad's going to try and pick her off with air jabs, while the Clash is going to be either awaiting them or faking out their jabs, which is going to slowly waste them. So it's going to have to be a game of brains between these two. I think that may not be the case. Fraternity going off of those Windows plays, as you of course should. Going for Flash's verticality, trying to ignore the Clash, could maybe even get a pick onto her themselves. Flashes do connect, as again, they have a bunch of time to work with. In the meanwhile, dropping some HP. Leon, not looking too good, but yet again, it's nothing to be too worried about.
But I think more or less. Okay, fine. RQ finds Leon there and just gets shot here. I think the Dokebi wasn't that useful to start with because there's so many mutes and they're just sitting on mutes here, so not many phones getting pinged, and even if there's something that got pinged, you just run into a mute and you're fine. And okay, just like that, you're down to 2 versus 3, and still the Nomad just enters with a bang right now, but triple kill on RQ. He's gonna make sure that this doesn't go to Vayne. And quad kill, is this gonna be an ace? It is gonna be an ace. RQ.
Oh!
This guy, man, he doesn't stop, and that's it. That's GG.
GG. NXT going in and out very fashionably. Now, the first round was already decent enough, already gave us an insight of their gameplay, their tactics, and their strategy. But the last one, an ace? Really? Gotta do him dirty with a Clash, just sticking around, giving the support to the following ace that was to come around the corner. Now, Chris, this was interesting. This was for sure something.
We talked about it not being one-sided. It wasn't one-sided as such. Okay, fine. It was. It
it,
was.
it
It
was
was.
a
I'm
bit.
gonna. It was. It was a bit. But you know what? It's just one game, and you were right to vote for them. These guys are absolutely crazy. And fine. I'm still there. Team Fraternity, very well played. A
Yeah.
lot of things to go back to. Maybe go to the drawing board and maybe work out what is the problem. It may not be the operators. It may be the team play. Maybe the IGL is not really in tandem with you. Something. There are some things to be worked on because NXT, for all their great plays, they had their small chinks in the armor that you could have exploited. Yet, not their day. But I won't hold it against them. We're going to be moving forward to the next one. But before that, I think, Puffo, any closing thoughts for this game?
This game, think Fraternity, I think it's overall down to consistency. Team chemistry seemed very good on both of these teams, but it's how one team managed to really just sneak away around the other's strategy, either force them into the last 15 seconds or force them to play verticality or stick to sight, leaving one of those two open to attack. And in the end, NXT played it well. You said it, maybe it wasn't Fraternity's day, but in the end, NXT, they are the winner. And before we head into the second match, I do believe we just need a bit of a rest, a 5-minute break, and we will be surely seeing you then. So stay tuned. Welcome back. I hope you waited long enough, but at the same time, you were hyped enough to see us come back because that's exactly the point of time we are at. And Necros, welcome back.
I am glad to be here. Thank you, Puffo. Thank you for welcoming me. I feel so nice right now. It was a fast, quick game for the first one. I don't know about this one. Don't want it to be quick, but I want it to be the same kind of action packed. Will we get it? Let's take a look at the cards a bit. What's in the cards? Because I think you every time we before the game, it's almost like we are like doing tarot or something, dude. It's like what's in the cards? Oh, the fool or like the buffoon or whatever the hell that is. And suddenly, yeah. Speaking of buffoons, they have the best map as consulate. So yeah, absolutely amazing. Total win rate of 48%, worst map border, and okay. I don't know about this squad that much. Do you have any inputs here, Puffo, for ranked 2.0?
Honestly, not much. I did vote for them purely because of the funny name. I absolutely
Ah.
love anyone who brings a bit of comedy. So the same could be said for No Minis, who they're going up against, but Rank 2.0, champs just bringing in that extra flex with the rank they're bringing about. But Consulate being the best, Border being the worst, does bring about a bit of interest because Consulate is a bit more of a strategical map. Border, if you know it, it is just gun mayhem. So it is definitely one of those maps that these two maps are completely separate. So they seemingly like a bit more strategy than gun action, but we're going to have to see that later on. As for the side of No Minis, let's get a bit of a peek, a bit of a sneak at what they have to offer, and Bank is going to be their best, while Clubhouse, one of the most common maps, being their worst.
Well, I mean, goes to show that maybe they are a team which they're pretty like unpredictable. Like the best one is Bank, and the worst one is Clubhouse. This is exactly like top down. I feel like usually it's the other way around, but you know, this could be an interesting game. This could mean that no meanies. Maybe they are quite mean themselves, and they're just not showing it. They're actually pretty meanies, but
Dude,
we'll have to
no more
wait and
dad
watch.
buns. No more dad buns, Necros. It's too much.
Ah.
It's too
Look,
much for one to handle.
I'm at that age, Puffo. I'm an old man. Okay. And speaking of being old, I'm too old for Clubhouse, man. My God.
We all
I,
are.
I,
It's we've seen it too much
ah.
times. The Clubhouse is really a map you can say back in my day when
Yeah.
watching. Back then, Clubhouse used to be a chill map. Now it's just you either get it and everyone knows how to play it. Back in my day when it got reworked, it was a completely different story. This is where
Absolutely.
bandit tricking was at its finest, I would say.
Yep. Bandit tricking. Ah, the glory days. I remember that time when Bandit went unchecked. Now, if you're tricking, you're the one getting tricked. Just getting shot through
True.
walls. There's so many random things. There's a Demos on the other side shooting you. And yeah, unfortunate. But you know what, Puffo? I
What?
think this this was in kind of the cards I saw. The clubhouse being the worst map for the
Ooh,
minis.
that's interesting.
Hmm.
That is a bit interesting. I'm wondering to see. Although I'm still confused. How is Clubhouse your worst map? Maybe because they haven't played much matches in general. But still, it's
Or
it's
maybe they're so
Clubhouse.
good that clubhouse is the worst.
Are you really going off of the assumption that they're so good that Clubhouse of all maps is going to be their worst map?
I
I
mean,
don't.
okay, you know what? You know what? I'm trying to keep this. I mean, I'm trying to make this more interesting than it is because with the statistics we have, it is only throwing us off. But
Hmm.
I think without further ado, I think I'll reserve judgment until I get into the game and see the first couple of rounds. Because I'll tell you what, if I see a Monty going through this time and not getting banned, I don't know. The attack rounds and the defense rounds, it's going to be a 7-5 win either way if the Monty goes through. And you can quote me on that.
I'll quote you on that. I'm going to put it right next to every time I wake up, there's going to be a note, and with your quote right on it. I'm also,
Absolutely.
honestly, if another Grim band pops up, I'm going to be completely flabbergasted. I'm just gonna from now predict a Ying Dokkaebi. I don't think it can get more basic. It's Clubhouse. I mean, what? How
Yeah.
much more basic and regular can we get? It used to be Borrigan, but since it's swapped out for Layer now, Clubhouse and Chalet are going to be taking the boring part of that map pool. And again, rank 2-0, no meanies. You made some dad puns, and I wanted to as of right now, but I held myself back. The beast is being held inside as of
Don't.
current, and
Why?
still,
Why would you hold yourself back?
it's
Don't
something
let
that
your
just
memes be dreams, my friend.
I have to. It's something that should just be, it's a talent that should just be kept hidden. It's one of those situations. Keep that talent hidden. That's the quota for me when it comes to dad puns.
Fine. Fine. Then I guess I'm the dad puns here.
Yes.
You be the cool guy. And I'm perfectly
The
fine.
cool
I'm
guy.
perfectly fine being uncool over here.
Oh,
So,
no, don't take it
I'm
like
gonna tell
that.
you this.
Okay.
No meanies having their worst map as Clubhouse doesn't mean that they will lose this map. So I mean, hey, you know, I stuck to my word. I think I was I think I was pretty accurate, and I have I have successfully done what I intended. I saw the opportunity and I took it. I like that. I like that about myself. I like that it is always the fact that it is the early bird that takes the worm. And I have taken the worm.
You
And you
have
know what
taken more than
happens?
that. You have
You've taken the
taken
worm from someone that was weak. And that's, you know what that is, right, Puffo? That's mean. Shouldn't do that.
Nitrous. I had to go down there all the way to hell to get Satan to therapize me, to get me some good therapy. He needed a talking to in the end. We were just having a mutual conversation. I had to come back up. But you know what?
Was he mean
Props
to
to
you?
you. It was a good dad pun. I'll give you the bonus points for sure. I'll shake you on it. I'll give you my hand. It was a well played match in the end. It was a good dad pun. I cannot lie. I gotta tip my head when I need to. Sadly, the head is back there. It's being protected by the stone statue, so sadly can't get it as of now.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That was, I think, it was a wake up call for me. I think
Hmm.
I'm going through withdrawals right now. I have not made a pun in quite some time.
I'm sorry to hear
Nick,
that.
can you save me and like start the game or something? Because I can't help it. I'll keep
Nitrous,
making puns right now.
as of current, a bit of context so we don't get kept or keep the game behind. 10 out of 10. And we are waiting for the confirmation from both of these teams. And
You're
we
right.
should be going in
I'm just,
any
I can't
moment.
hold it in, Puffo.
You can't hold it in. You have
Yeah, yeah, I don't want to be mean.
to. You don't want to be mean. All right. So let's just strength that. Let's bring it down. Don't do that. Let's distract that meaniness, and let's get ourselves over to you voted on rank 2.0 champs, if I'm correct. Any decision
Absolutely.
behind it?
Because they are ranked 2.0 champs. They're the champs. It's in
They
the
are the
name,
champs.
man. Come on.
That's true. And you don't. No meanies though. They're not mean. I think that's going to be a downfall of them in the end. I think that's really going to be the bane to their strategy. It may be, you got to be mean in Siege sometimes. And if any of these teams, I've been seeing. You said earlier if the Monty isn't picked off, you're going to be having a bit of a score for yourself. I'm saying if the Bosch G is picked, I'm going to be having a blast of my own. I am a Bosch G enjoyer, and I'm hoping to see it through and through again. What about yourself? What is your opinion on the slug shotgun of Vigil?
I love it. I have been, I'm a visual main. I'm going to say this outright. Every time I play Rainbow Six, I don't play it as much anymore, but every time I did play it, I think defense, I go with visual, and in defense, I go with the boss. I go with the boss man.
My man, you know,
Yeah,
you know what is good
absolutely.
for
One shot,
the.
one kill, man.
It's it's
That's how
it's
it
just
is.
a great gun.
No
But we're going
jokes.
in. Finally, Necris, we're making some advancements. We're actually popping into Clubhouse and getting a bit of an overview of the second match out of the three. After this, we still have Besiktas versus Melilla Titans, which is going to be interesting. But before we get to it, we need to get through the second to get to the third. The count needs to go up, and we're going to have to see which of these two teams manage to win out Clubhouse.
I am pumped. I'm looking for a Monty ban, and instantly after that, a Dokebi ban. And that's it. We're taking it home. Come on,
I'm saying
Monty.
Ying and Dokubi. Ying and Dokubi is going to be my pick.
Monty. That's it. That's it.
Okay.
Boom.
All
Boom.
right.
I think I agree with the Ying part too. I think this could be Ying 2. Ying, Dokebi, either of those
Could
two.
be
It can't
possible.
be anything else. It definitely is not Grim. Okay? It's not Grim.
If it's Grim, honestly, I might as well take a lap around the room because it would be just a tiny bit over the board. But the Dokubi makes her way through, and a reasonable ban yet again. You don't want to play against him? Ban him. That's what the phase is for. And now we're going over to defenders where I'm honestly seeing Gazami, I'm seeing Fenrir, I'm seeing even Tuba Rao or Cade. There's a lot of picks on Clubhouse because of hatch play, because of a lot of denial, but a lot of strong operators do make their way through. And the first one is going to be the Valkyrie, the second time we're seeing the ban for her today.
That's Muscle Mommy right there, and she's gonna get banned instantly. And that's gonna be Fenrir. I think these are very, very solid bans coming up from both teams. They're really on point. There's no jokes here. And I like it. I think okay, 5-man insta ban, I'm terrified. Okay. I think someone's hero pool just got banned. So I think yeah.
Oh, damn it. Okay, I'm sorry for the cutoff. I saw the Scopos for a second and I was getting a bit too excited. They pulled me for a second, but then they just had me disappointed. Rank 2.0, you can't do me like that. You know we love the Scopos. Siege announced even on Twitter not too long ago that now she is officially playable and competitive. Not sure how well this sticks to EON. I'm assuming it still does. I do believe there was an announcement about it. Whatever the case may be, it still shows that it's a possibility to see her today. Maybe it was just a bit of a teaser from Rank 2.0.
I'm actually excited to see that operator. I haven't seen it as much, and I mean, I've seen like some gameplay of it. Seems cool. I mean, it's a unique concept completely, but to play it in competitive, I think this is like a completely different angle. I'm really looking forward to it. But be that as it may, we are starting with a Grim, Blitz, and Flores. I'm okay, not as aggressive as the ones we saw last time in NXT, but no meanies. This can only mean that they want to go in kind of fast, but not too fast.
On the side of Rank 2.0, going in very aggressively. Not only is Pink rocking the Boss G, as I asked, absolute legend, sticking to the motherland. He and I are both from the same countries, and I think he heard my shout all the way to his house, probably, if he lives close enough, that is. But the Boss G in hand is going to be a deadly weapon, going for that roam. Also an early spawn peak. In the end, it won't be connecting too much. Sadly, the all bark, no bite is going to be sticking to it, as no meanies make their progress, taking a lot of ground, but at the same time, going for early clearage of utilities.
And they're taking their time, and I like it. Collect information first, that takes priority, and you have to do it. I think there's enough droning. Flores has thrown a couple of drones in, and they've not yet tried to breach this one outer basement. But you know what? It's fine. I think taking your time does not necessarily mean making mistakes later. It's that you have enough information at some point of time, and this blitz is going to be, well, for the lack of a better word, blitzing inside. And there's going to be enough vertical control to start with. And Fantasy, he takes out Basque. And this is what you need to look out for, especially in a basement plant. You cannot be even a bit more complacent. You may have as many mirrors in a corner, but my god, people are just jumping in. These guys are crazy. That mirror, he didn't check fast enough, and just like that, Rank 2.0 has lost most of their team. And that Visual, he's trying to be the cable disconnector, but it's not gonna work. Everything's one tap, boom, and so much for the Boss G. Really, it's not gonna work. It's a almost perfect round for the meme.
Almost perfect indeed. What a performance. Now, the first pick fooled them, got them in a bit of a disadvantage, but they did not care. They used that blitz completely, ignoring a bit of mirror action by the Valkyrie on blue side. They just pushed through the barbed wire, went for the stairs, went for a sight. It was unexpected, and it was quick, flashy, as well as no meanies. We're quite mean in the spot. Sorry, I gotta join along with the dad puns. Now I can really feel the
Mm.
spirit. You're bringing it into me, Necros. I don't know if it's good or bad thing, but it's working out for now, just like it is for the side of attacking the first opening round.
Attackers need to
Now,
locate and
I'm gonna
defuse
keep
as
the
many bombs
rule
as they
like
can.
I always do. First 4 rounds, I feel like these teams just get to know each other, and only from that point on, it really starts getting a bit closer to see who's in the lead and who isn't.
And I mean, with a start like this, sky's the limit. No meanies. They just, I mean, they exemplify caution but aggression. They're not just jumping in like headless chicken, but at the same time, they're not overtly cautious and waiting for the timer to tick down to like a very, very perilous amount. They really took every decision perfectly, as they should have. And it was like a symphony in action, and I'm looking forward to see more. They have the blitz again, they have a Thatcher this time with, okay, they have an ace, they have an Ash, and a thermite. Now I think they're trying to breach a certain wall, probably. It's not going to be another door entry. There's not much on verticality, but this time it's going to be a horizontal play. And if they have planned it so, I think they will execute it just as it's intended.
The major thing about this, what I take at least, Thatcher, Thermite, they open up
Located by
Jacuzzi.
attackers.
Then the switch is over to the side of CC and Cash, and they get a complete sandwich. The both of the buns are around rank 2.0, and all they need is that salami, which are going to be the frags, the utility clearage, which would be the cheese, and they make a good, fine piece of a meal. But we have enough time. Rank 2.0, you are getting pinched very closely. You are already in a bit of a tight position. Rotations are cut off as well. A triple breach may be it, even for a late push. Now, this is just a bit of shadow presence. Open up the wall, leave it alone, come back to it in the last 30, 40 seconds, and they won't expect it. It's the beauty of going for multiple breaches, and at the same time, while you are forcing a bit of picks onto the attack and wasting a lot of utility, in the end, it's just too much pressure for the defenders to handle all at once.
This was absolutely perfect. Whatever you say, I completely agree. Just picking multiple breaches, I hate that not many teams do this. It's so effective. As you said, the pressure you create, like, look at this ace. Okay, that kind of. Yeah, that was
A
anticlimactic.
for
And maybe
effort.
this time. Rody could be on the receiving end of another shot from the warden, but I think he knows. I think he heard the gunshot, so he knows there's someone right here in the servers, but he is not going to be hasty enough. The warden, okay, cash room warden, he is going to be waiting right around the corner. He also is pretty privy to it, but now he's going to lose that duel to Rody. Goes down, 4 versus 4. They've still not made any headway into the side. It's slowly ticking down, but okay, here comes the blitz. He's moving in. And now Cash, it's completely taken over. The gym, people are still inside there, but okay, Bandits just dropped down from the hatch, but he just gets shot, Fantasy. He's so aware. He just flings, and my god, this guy's aim is out of this world, and people are getting shot right now. Baski, he picks an angle. Okay, Blitz, he just blocks it in the last moment, and he just goes in, and he cuts him open, and Baski, oh, he almost gets Fantasy. But no, it's just a very low health Blitz, but no, it's not enough. Even if all of them combined do not have 100 health, they do have the win. Whew, that was close, but not really close.
Yeah, I actually wanted to say that, or in sort of sense, it was close because if that castle managed to, or the Zami managed to get the double kill while they were reviving, it would have been a 1v1. So, in some sort of term, it was definitely close, even HP standard wise. In the end, though, man advantage completely switched from no meanies. I like how they manage to always get the first pick brought onto them, but they just completely flipped the table out of nowhere. They turned it on its head, and now all of a sudden, a 1v3 is theirs purely because of how much pressure. We have people dropping down to site, and you don't even know there is a Thatcher on main stairs holding just 12 steps ahead of you, and you're thinking, okay, I'm going to go downstairs, maybe throw a C4. Whatever the case is, it doesn't matter. The flick to the right is going to be popping your head like a balloon, and it's going to be reverting. the man advantage to a 0 with it as well, shows that no meanies, they really don't care about the first picks. They can get it back if they want to, and they got their strategy. Even when the ace died, it didn't matter. They had the breach on cash, they had construction, CCTV, and jacuzzi. Rotation was at an all-time low for rank 2.0. They had nowhere to go besides bathroom, Logi, which they got forcibly pushed out, or they had to contest the attackers. And seeing as how no minis actually play around themselves, if one gets taken out, you have 2 extra people just completely aligned like stars to him, meaning the refrag is almost 100% guaranteed.
And my God, the C4. This could mean
No.
it. Oh, it was a very, very long shot. But I'll say this. I love the way that the minis, the way they adapt. Now it's a basement plant. So what do you want? Verticality. Instantly pick Buck, you pick Grim for the corridors, and you pick Flores for the information. It's so efficient. These guys have it on, like it's like a book to them. And they read it and they're just playing out of it. And it's working for them. 2 clean rounds on attack. And I mean, I know clubhouse attack can be very, very hard. And okay, this Blitz just makes his way in, looks at them. He is fearless right now. He doesn't care about anyone pushing him. Nothing. He's just clearing every single piece of information for the defense. But okay, Case, he gets him. He gets the Flores, and now there could be more. 5 versus 4. Again, starts with the pickoff for the side of rank 2.0. But is it going to be enough? Will they make a fatal mistake? Because right now the Blitz he's followed completely, backed up. And now they're going to be moving in slowly but surely. I think the Buck is going to stay back, probably take a couple of hatches, control a couple of places. But apart from that, I think everybody's going to be moving right behind him. And now Fantasy, he is on that Thatcher. He's going to be sticking very close to that Blitz. And both of them, they're going to be blitzing into the side very soon. If everything goes right, this could very well be a very well executed no minis push that we have grown so accustomed to.
You've seen this type of advantage before, and we're here back at it again. But can rank 2.0 just stick to it? Can they repeat that first kill onto the second, maybe secure a third, get those trades rolling, go for a refrag game, and get themselves the first round? That's the question that they're going to need to answer soon, as a lot of damage brought onto the Blitz. Holds are tight. They know their strategy, holding blue very strongly, but a nice headshot from the side of the Thatcher, pink out of the board, and a nice retrade from Sansi, but it won't go without saying, as of course a Capcan trap gets one, but the second for the Buck gets downed. 21 HP won't be looking count, as Santi just picks him off, snowballing them and rolling them down the hill.
It was just beautiful. This Azami was blocking every single piece of information this Buck was trying to gather. Every hatch he tried to breach, there's a pancake right there. And there's nothing that he could tell his team that they didn't already know. The open entrance Fantasy, I mean, for all the great aim that he has, they just got completely taken aback by that Capcan mine, and everything kind of just fell back to this one position that they were right outside of basement, trying to make their way in, but it's a complete maze of pancakes and Capcan traps, and you just don't know where to turn. And Santi, he got a shooting gallery for himself. He completely maneuvered that. And well, you have 1 round for ranked.
1 round indeed. That 1-2, bringing it up from a nil is going to be a beautiful way of getting that 1 round deficit in for yourselves. At the same time, this time around, the adaptation is definitely for ranked to bless. In the very late round, I don't think there was any crucial information that could have had them knowing the force is going to get pushed into blue. But they stuck to it, and they held it strong. Kill after kill, even when no minis, their strong frag ability is showing itself through, but it just was not the match that could have evened it out with the amount of Capcan traps around, the cross holds, the utility. It was just a starstruck situation for no minis, and ranked made it a beautiful one at that.
I mean, these guys, I have to... That starting peak, it was absolutely phenomenal. they've been looking for that spawn peak for quite a long time, and people used to get like damaged on the way, probably not really risk it, but this time they really went for it, and it paid off. Case, he goes down, there's no Legion, and this is even before the round really started. And well, now you have that same lineup. It's that multiple breacher, Ibana, Thermite, and they're opening up more places, just pressuring this whole thing. And now it's hatch control too. Okay, the castle, he's trying to kind of get ahead of this, but this is risky, if not anything else. This back wall. I mean, I have to say, construction seems to be a huge point of contention, and yet that is the one point where the most defenders are. But that is the one point where the breach always
A bomb
happens,
has been
and
located.
meanies enter through. It's quite ironic, really.
Going for a similar way of entry is a way for rank 2.0 to punish them off heavily. The question is brought upon us now. Will they do it? Playing aggressively, main stairs, you have a lot of security. Azami Kiba barriers are all out of pocket. So going for this pick could be a bit of a risk, but it doesn't matter
Whoa.
to no meanies as they get themselves the
Whoa.
second, the third, and the fourth. Would be 5 brought off from nowhere, and it's all down to Kex sitting in construction. Holes open left and right and wide all around you. 1 minute. They have the diffuser going down, and you're trying to go for these 1v1 situation. You spot one, but can you find it? The blitz around the corner, going in just
Oh,
at the wrong
no.
time as the vault comes around. It will be the blitz pulling out the pistol, Western standoff style, and getting the coup de grace.
And a coup de grace indeed. Buffo, that blitz, that guy made space for ages, I have to say. Like this guy, we saw the fast kills, right? Meanies just shot them one by one, but that was, I think, Blitz got them cooped up in this one loop, and they couldn't do anything. They were stuck, fish in a barrel yet again, and another round for no meanies. And fine, they're gonna pick the initial operators right now just to go through, but once they discover that the plant is 2F, it's gonna be yet again a buck, or probably a Thatcher. Again, the Thatcher thermite thing could, yeah, that's the thermite. This could be going the same direction as we saw in the last round. There's an ace, okay, and okay, they're going for more. There's a Thatcher comes out, Hibana also. Yep, we are on. Really, this is methodical and super, super, super good.
Good indeed. That's a way of going about it to describe it,
10 seconds remaining.
but there's still room for change.
5 seconds.
Fencer rocking that blitz, as always. Gotta keep the shields while they're still in meta. Gotta keep rocking them and soloing with them as much as you can, because we've seen no minis take ground extremely quickly. Not in a snail space, quite the opposite, to be exact. Earlier in the previous rounds, they have gone through second, first, third floors, whatever you call it, in a matter of less than half a minute, just because you have that metal plate on 2 legs chunking around step after step at the speed of a Formula 1 F1 car. It's just mad. The speed, the takeover, the strength, shields in meta as of current, and until they're patched, of course they're going to use them. It's just like if Dokubi wasn't meta. Of course you're going to use her. It's reasonable. It's an advantage to you, and you should take it, because the win is what you're craving here for, not necessarily only fun or just to have a bit of a joke or maybe improve. It's the win they're looking for, and they should take it while it's in their grasp. In the meanwhile, though, they do take up a bit of construction or push towards it. There's a bit of shots administer themselves through, but just not being able to finish the job.
I mean, I don't think this may be a controversial opinion, but I much prefer Blitz to Monty, really. The kind of maneuverability it offers, it's absolutely insane. It's a very, very fast operator. It's very aggressive, has a flash on him. And I mean, fine, you have enough passivity and like a real actual mountain in front of you when it comes to Monty, but Blitz is just something else. It adds so much versatility to a very aggressive lineup, and that's what No Minis is. And look at him, he's just peeking inside, and after that one kill, there's one more. So goes down the Melusi. There's one person. Okay, now Coded, he does get downed. He's not dead yet. He could be revived. And now the Blitz is still here. He's right there. He does not care. This guy, he's in cash for ages. He's sitting there. He's not scared. He wants people to come in. The Legion may throw as many thorn traps over there, but that doesn't matter. This Blitz is going to get his way soon enough. He's waiting for his team to really loop around. But oh, that peak, Santi! You really needed to hit that shot. Fantasy, he does go down, but he loses his life in return. Basque, he avenged his friend, but for what? 2 versus 4? That's dangerous. And now he's been spotted. There's a cap can being spotted. A Legion gets picked off, and there's a last cap can. Do your traps do it? Not really. No meanies. Have won yet another.
Sadly, traps haven't been added to the stairs of Rainbow Six Siege, and the doors won't be lying around for the Blitz to walk into. And the 4th round, sticking with no meanies, as one more is left before the roll swap ensues. And Necros 4-2 is the best that rank 2.0 can stick with. By the way, they're still on defense, which I'm going to kind of relate this to the previous match, which, if I'm asked personally, I think it's looking to go in a similar direction if rank 2.0 don't make a drastic change of how they want to trace back or at least retake some of the floor that they so easily lose, because no meanies, they take it and they keep it. Ranked, they go back into their site, they play by their their cutoff rotations, and they play by the rules. If they don't intercept it, it's gonna keep going the same way.
They have to stop this, really. They're running the same lineup, and it seems like rank, as you said, rank 2.0, they just don't know what to do. They picked their Capcans, they picked Melusi in the past, now they picked a Wamai. I mean, there's no Thatcher, so the Wamai, I don't know what he's gonna stop. Probably a Grenado here and there, but
5 seconds left.
there needs to be some answer to what Meanies are doing. And this is the last attack round, if I'm not wrong. And they're going to switch to defense. On defense of Clubhouse, the way they're playing, they could just secure the game in it. And you really need to have at least 2 wins here on defense if I am rank 2.0. And they're making it. I mean, there's a Kaid, he's going to hold hatches. This is a very... They won the plant here the last time they tried it. So the Kaid is he's gonna secure a couple of things. Azami, Aruni, all of them, they're being very, very cautious. They're really holding it tight. But it could work so badly against them because you have an IQ, you know everything. You know by gadgets, and mostly when it comes to Kaid, you know where he is, especially when it comes to his gadgets. That operator does not stray too far from the site. And as long as you have your eyes on one operator, you may as well have eyes on one more. And so the information leaks, and soon you will have a pick off, and well, Bob's your uncle.
Attackers have located a
Wait,
bomb.
what?
It's a phrase, right? I mean,
Okay,
Da- da-
okay.
da- da-
Just
da-
making
da-
sure
da.
that you're not claiming that I'm anybody's uncle.
I know.
All
I
right.
mean, it's basically like well, A is equal to B, B is equal to C, so A is equal to
Yeah.
C. So if A is equal to C, so Bob's your uncle. You know, like yeah.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, yeah,
That's
so
the
Bob's
first
your
time
uncle.
me hearing it. I was a bit worried for a second. I
QED.
was- what unknown relations are there? Thankfully,
Don't
we got
worry,
it cleared out.
you're German, so your uncle will never really be Bob, I guess.
True.
Yeah.
True. That does make sense.
Uh-huh.
But in the meanwhile, so far, no meanies. Take their ground. They keep it. Same thing.
Fantasy again.
And exactly, you said it. Took the words right out of my mouth. Fantasy, again. Opening pick. Amazing one at that. And ranked. What are they doing, Necros? They're just standing back and watching it all crumble before them.
And I mean, they have to have someone on the upper floor. Someone near strip club, someone near bar. Just try to you need to do something here. You cannot sit inside. This worked the first time. It's not necessary that it works the second time. I mean, okay, I may be eating my words if it works. As I say it, Rody just goes down to KS on the stairs. But
Drop the bomb diffuser.
see, this strategy is not really reliable because Exactly. I mean, you know, the kills you get in the start, Basque, he may get one more. It's back to 2v2, and there's a Capcan still alive, the traps are still alive, and they could get picked off. There's no IQ to really scout it out. So the Blitz, he's trying to move here and there. The planter, the diffuser finally goes down, but he gets downed instantly. Case, he has this. This time, you have it, and the Blitz It's up to him. 8 seconds. They have to make it.
5 seconds left.
I'll get it down. No one's gonna make it that fast inside, and they're both approaching him from two sides. I think rank 2.0 has this as I say it. As I say it, Puffo. God darn it. I mean, what the hell was that? And really,
Eyes on the diffuser. Attackers
No.
this is not a defuse you get. This is not a defuse you get. One versus a blitz. That's not gonna happen.
What are you,
You just-
hoping to get out of it?
I mean, yeah, just
Maybe if there was a C4, I'd still have hope, okay? Explosives are a neat little trick.
maybe an impact or something. Nope.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, put to the wall. My God, you just got bonked, man. Like, look at this. Boom. Yeah, this is so stupid indeed. Absolutely. And 5-1. One round away from match point. And they're on defense.
They're on defense now. Oh, this is rank 2.0. I like the name. I like the positivity they bring in their name as well. The champions really give us that Titan role for themselves. But no, meanies, your name is just the complete opposite. You're rocking that blitz in a 1v1 against an Aruni who tries to punch your shield, but that Oryx knockback, that 500-pound piece of plate, just completely smashing anyone into the wall who dares interrupt or tries to go for the defuse. Not a comfortable 1v1 to be spotted against. Even with the flashes, it just brings the brutality score even more up than it already is. Whatever the case is,
mean-
though. Yeah.
Really, I don't know. There was no way. The fact that the Blitz got a shot off by iron sights through 2 rooms abroad. Yeah, it was not supposed to happen. And now 1 versus 1, you cannot win. Versus a Blitz, you will never win. Never. Ever, 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 ever. Unless you have like an explosive or something, you will never win.
use a bomb.
Yeah.
And
It's
that's right.
also
I mean-
rank 2.0. You had the diffuser down, and both of the players backed off on defense, leaving the blitz to get the plant down, which forced them to come back, but they didn't do it properly. They went for 1v1s against the blitz instead of playing together and close to try and get a melee in, to try if he peeks, one gets killed, the other headshots. You should have played a bit more together, and I feel like team chemistry failed them just a tiny bit there and got no minis their 5th.
And my God, were we wrong in the predictions? This is insane. I mean, I will reserve judgment until one more round because that will show the defensive capabilities of No Meanies. They've started with the basement. See, I think starting with the basement is a very, very sound start. These guys, they're all strategy, you know. No Meanies, they know. They need one more round to get into match point. The basement is one of the best plans on this map. Go to the basement, secure this one, you're into match point, then you can play your own thing. Probably go like 2F gym or some other random plant, doesn't matter. You will hold it no matter what. You'll take this one home. Right now, you need this one win really, really, really securely. And even now, 1 minute 40 seconds remaining on the map. Slowly but surely, they're ticking down the timer. No real headway made by rank 2.0. Even with an Iana, I'm really surprised that Iana Ram not really achieving anything, especially on a basement plant. And speaking of Iana just getting shot by Rava.
The
That-
Gaster Curse at its
Yeah,
finest.
it's absolute fire. You know, I don't want to be, you know, that can only meanie that
Not
this is.
I can't believe this. I cannot.
That can
believe
only
it.
meanie, my friend, that this Ram is gonna mow the lawns over here. Mostly, some verticality maybe helps them. Probably do something here, make a dent in the armor of No Meanies, but I mean unnecessarily aggressive. I'll say they have a Finca, they have an Ash, they have all these aggressive operators, but they're not really playing the way they need to play. It's already 40 seconds on the clock remaining, and yeah, that's it. Rava, this guy, he's not stopping. Santi goes down.
Attackers bomb
And
diffuser has
one more. Rodi takes this one. 2 versus 5. And this could be edging towards a flawless. 28 seconds on the clock. And now Ram has to go downstairs. And it's not a good place. And he throws a flash. But bro, you gotta be peeking with a gun, not a grenade. It's not gonna work. And 1 versus 5.
15 seconds remaining.
You know, Buffo,
Yeah.
this only means one thing. It's a win for the defenders.
I'm gonna have to get used to you saying meanie instead of mean every
It's
single
just for
time.
this one.
It's a change of a word in my personal dictionary for at least this match, and it fits. Although, in the end, right now, no meanies picking it back up where they started. 5 round lead, match point, and now rank 2.0 under the imminent pressure of being 1 round of a loss away from losing the best of one, while also, do keep in mind, this is a secondary task and it's a main one at that, having to win 5 rounds in a row to even get out of regulation. Not to win, no, no,
Attackers
no, no,
need to
no,
locate and
to
defuse as
get
many
into
bombs as they can.
overtime. Then there's the match point. So it's second chance after second chance, round after round, step left, step right. They are taking it each time. And one major mistake,
Attackers have
you
discovered the
can say
location of a
goodbye to
bomb.
today's match. And Clubhouse is nominees because they have been consistent, well playing, taking that blitz to quite some lengths. And even when at a disadvantage, they still manage to punish you so strongly that it gets them the round none the wiser. So eventually, I think nominees are going to get around to it. And I don't have too much hope for rank 2.0,
5
not
seconds
being
remaining.
biased, but it's just how it's been looking up until now.
Attackers' objective is to defuse
Rank
the
2.0,
bomb.
they've pulled out their own blitz. I think it was a long time coming, really. I'm surprised they didn't do it the first time around, but they're going to be employing the same strategy that no minis applied to them. It's the multiple breachers. They have a thermite. They have an ace. They have an ash to really clear the distance. Soft breachers also. Bucks there to give them verticality. It's a good lineup. It's a good lineup. But look at this beautiful mirror. I love this mirror right now. A beautiful window over there, and they know that they could be subjected to what they subjected ranked 2.02, and they're ready for it. For all that is happening, I will say that no meanies, it seems like they're always one step ahead of rank 2.0.
At this point, it's 5 steps ahead, seeing as the round count is, and progressing towards it even more than they ever have. 2 minutes is going to be plenty of time to rank 2.0 to work with, but they don't seem to be getting along with it quite nicely. Verticalities are great and all, but it's going to be wasting your time. You have to be certain and you have to make good trades out of it. Taking some HP off of Rava, bringing it down to 20 is going to be a great use of it, but he's still kicking. The mirror still around the corner, the gun is still in hand, and the C4 could still be used, which is the deadliest of them all. The drop comes out, but it won't be going unpunished. 4v5 starting it off very heavily. Blitz around the corner gets taken out. A double,
No.
snowballing it up, and just the main stairs not being able to get through. It's going to be leaving the hatch and the stairs to get one pick of themselves. Picking it back up just slowly, but it's not enough to transition the advantage to yourselves. Flashes are popping up, but you have 4 to work with as the drop comes out from Shanty. What are you doing?
Okay. I mean, yeah, it happens. It happens. Hey, it happens.
It's
I'm
what
not
makes
gonna.
us humans. Mistakes.
Absolutely, absolutely. Otherwise, we would be God, if we didn't
Yeah.
take fall damage or something. But I'll tell you one thing, Puff. I think there's something to be said here about the consistency of no meanies. These guys, they transitioned seamlessly to defense. Seamlessly. Kept the same amount of. I don't think the aggression is the same though, but they kept the tempo.
Yeah.
They kept the kind of composure that they had, and nothing really budged. I mean, look at this. This is flawless. Rodi, he didn't know. They just know. And this is it. This can only mean one thing, that is GG. And my God, what a game this was. 7-1.
What a game this was in the end. Champions barking up the wrong bullet, which was in this situation no meanies, and they proved that name to be a complete false statement because they were quite mean in that entire match. They were taking it round after round, taking up that blitz, picking it up, and going for 2v1s, winning them at a time after time. And the 7-1 score, the Brazil, the so called Brazil, definitely making its appearance in the second match today. And whew, Necros, this is quite heated. Both of these matches, although they were a bit one sided, I would say, they were still an absolute amazing, or should I say, an absolute blast to watch and cast through. And I'm excited to see match number 3.
Absolutely. I think no matter what happens, all these teams, you may lose, you may get like one round and lose, but go back to the drawing board. It doesn't matter. These teams are great. The ones you're facing off against, they clearly have more experience on you. They have a lot more things going on. Like these guys are just better. They were better today. Probably will be better than you probably for the next couple of weeks. But that shouldn't stop you. Go back to the drawing board. There are a couple of things to hash out, especially maybe learn from this game. The way No Meanies played attack, I think Rank 2.0 can learn a lot from that, because they employed the same operators. However, they could not employ the same kind of gameplay. Their their play was a bit loose here and there. They weren't playing as tight
Yeah.
and efficiently as No Meanies were, and that's something to learn. And it's not too late, you know. But a hearty congratulations to No Meanies. You guys, you guys are real meanies, and you deserve the win. Any closing thoughts, Puffo? Anything you had to point out right now?
Honestly, in this situation, it was just skill difference. I can't say or be easier on them. Of course, it was noticeable that the team chemistry was there. They were consistent. It was
Yeah.
all these things. It was a lot of problems, none major, but a bit more minor ones that just stack up to one big one. And in the case, it was yet again another situation of one team being better than the other. And hopefully, Rank 2 can come back and prove them wrong. Maybe even show up at a later date to win against them. But that's for the future to tell. And with that, we still have one more match, the third one, Besiktas Esports versus Malila Titans. And we're hoping to see that just as much as you saw these past two matches. So stay tuned, and we will be back after a short break. the final one coming around the corner. 3 for 3 is where we're at. The first, the second were exciting, but the third is where it really finishes it off for today. And supposedly, it should be the most exciting one. But before we get into these players, the maps, you know it. Necris, how are you looking forward to this final match of today?
Not a 7-1, not a 7-2. I
True.
hope. I really hope. I mean, I'm not gonna hold it against a team to play that's gonna be playing like super well. Please, by all means, 7-0 it. But maybe for the viewers, for the memes,
Yeah.
for us, make it a bit interesting. Let's have and I'm all super like I love Besiktas. I've seen them so many times, as I've said. I'm a fan, and it's always a pleasure to watch them. And they're pretty methodical, but usually I don't know if it's a fortunate thing or an unfortunate thing. They're always matched up with people who are kind of the same caliber. So I rarely ever see anything other than 7-5 when it comes to Besiktas. And it could go either way. I'm not saying I always seen Besiktas win. They have lost, but they have lost 7-5. Oh, like, yeah. So 7-5 seems like a trend with Besiktas. I don't know if this trend is going to keep like this. I mean, let's see what's in the cards, Almighty One. Maybe the cards will show us and show something, Buffo.
Just something, just the path to what we'll be seeing. Now, the first one, talking about Besiktas, speak of the devil, and he shall appear, but this time it's the Angels. It's going to be the players we're seeing on the right hand side, and Clubhouse being their best map, Cafe being their worst. Thankfully, the first match wasn't theirs, with a 70% total win rate, and being fifth on placement isn't going to be looking too shabby at all. But we still have one more to check out. The second team on the hand of Malila Titans or Malila. I'm just gonna stick with Malila. It sounds like a cool name, I'd say.
Yeah. I I have to say though, I'm really looking forward to shout out to Bodolf, actually the captain of Besiktas. His
Mhm.
mom always comes to the Twitch channel and always represents, and that's always it's
Really?
so yeah, it's so sweet, man. I love it. I absolutely love it. Every time it's like every time they win around, no matter if they win around or lose around, she's always there, like pumping them up, and it's absolutely amazing. And a huge shout out to that. I'm looking forward to see that, and it's great to have like family support when it comes to something like this, and for people to really appreciate what you're doing, and the value of that, especially when you don't have that. And
Mhm.
gaming, no matter what happens, really, it's still like a pastime, treated as a pastime. So it's great that some parents are still like super 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 supportive when it comes to it. Could just be a pastime for a college kid, but it's the world to them, and it's such a sweet thing to see. What's not a sweet thing to see is we're going to see Night Haven. Absolutely hate that map. What's with the maps today, man? There's no fun maps.
Hey, I'm gonna
I
I'm
mean,
gonna cut you off there. I love Nighthaven. I love it.
all right.
But
No,
to each their own.
okay,
To each
my
their
bad.
own. I
Yeah,
think
yeah.
this is where it's like, okay, some people like it, some people don't. I think it's fair. I can see why people don't like it. I just personally like a bit of diversity every now and then. If a map gets too well known to me, I start hating it as a caster. And if I don't see it a lot, I'm gonna love it because it's new opportunities or new
Mhm.
experiments that get brought up. And you said it. It's a weird way to see Nighthaven. Not only will, of course, you would prefer not to see it, but at the same time, this is Malila Titan's worst map, and they let it pass on through to play for themselves.
I I don't hate Night Haven. I'm going to start by saying that. Okay,
Okay,
I
okay.
don't hate it, but oh yeah, I'll tell you what. This map is super, super situational. It brings out operators that you usually won't see. Like I am an absolute follower of an operator like Nook.
Hmm.
It's one of the operators I really love to play. It was one of the first operators I ever bought, like with those 15,000 credits of whatever we get, and it holds a very special place in my heart. And that was a time when Night Haven was pretty new, so people used to pick Nook there, and Nook is extremely effective, especially with the corners. There's so many nice camera angles over here that Nook just completely slides past. And plus, I think Nook got buffed in a way that the meter doesn't really tick down unless you're spotted or something like that. I could be
Yeah,
wrong about
it's
this, but yeah. So I think it has become this kind of a Trump pick for this map. I'm not surprised for the Monty man, but I won't be surprised for. I mean, you know what? I could expect probably the Blitz and the Monty both going out. What do you think?
Honestly, I don't think that's going to be the case. I think it's a bit too deadly to leave a Maverick, Dokkaebi, or Ying. And that's another
Hmm.
thing. You brought up an amazing point. This is exactly that point. The diversity of operators is what really brings me close to this map. You don't see bands like Ace anywhere. You see bands like Maverick, Ace, or really specific bands only on maps like Night Haven, like as if you would see Grim on Chalet or Cafe with Valkyrie. But Valkyrie is a bit more spread out. Grim is also a decent operator. Ace is all around the place, and most people just prefer to stick with him because he's not overpowered, but he's just a niche thing to have. A bit of that security, you go up with a thermite up and close, get that breach in. If there's someone throwing or chucking C4s at you, you're in danger. The Ace, you throw those, you chuck those bread loaves from a distance, and you're good. You get the breach open, and it's done. So also, for Valkyrie and Azami, like you said, the Monty, it's not much of a surprise, honestly. Just pick them off. We've been seeing them quite a bunch. Actually, for Valkyrie, she's been banned every single map, I believe.
Not actually. I think last map it was banned, and this map is banned. But the first map, I think it wasn't banned. So, 1 out of 3, and a very, very appropriate ban, I'll say, especially for Night
Yeah.
Haven. Um, I, as we were talking about Night Haven, I think it's a unique map in a way that why does it bring out so many different like alternatives when it comes to
Attackers need to
operators? I
locate
think
and defuse
it's
any
because this
bomb
map has a
located.
layout which is really, really, really weird. It's I think the one map I find equally interesting, but I actually also thoroughly enjoy it, is Skyscraper. I love
Mm.
Skyscraper, and it poses this horizontality instead of a verticality, which I feel is super insane. Like, I think not many maps are super horizontal. Night Haven is one such map, and Skyscraper is one such map. Yes, there is verticality.
10 seconds
Obviously, I'm
to
not saying there's
insertion.
no verticality, but the map is pretty horizontal. It's pretty spread out,
5 seconds
and that
left before
just
insertion.
gives a lot of look. There's a Nook pick. I told you this Nook is gonna be here,
To
man.
locate a bomb
There's
and
no
defuse
way
it.
they're gonna let a Nook out. Nook get behind, and slowly but surely it's gonna be picking up, because if this Nook is is pretty confident in the way, because the Nook, the way it's supposed to be played is not with the team. You're exactly on the opposite side. You play so that you distract them from the team, and simultaneously get picked off. The Maverick goes down first, which is quite damaging actually. Your breach potential and the pickoff potential has gone down immensely, but there's a Nook. He sees it. Drone is going out. Now, he's thrown the drone, not really looked through it, but okay, he's, not there yet. That could be so close, yet so far. So information's there. They know the Nook's here, so there's going to be one person permanently manning this side, and yeah, I think that's back to status quo.
Right now, that duel got both of them standing 1 foot in the coffin, but in the end, they didn't step in, so it's all good for now. Caesar, though, you were sticking to that window for so long, but what's with the damage now? Taking it down for 50%, doing a bit, but in the meanwhile, you got the opening pick onto the Maverick,
Attackers have
which you
located a
said
bomb.
breaches are going to be a lot more limited, a bit more or less crucial, as it forces Malila to switch their strategy. We go for a second round to see what they can adapt with or what they can work with as of now. 1:30 on the clock. Going through towards that 1 minute, it's going to be the late round they're working with. Verticality is an option, which is also being heavily contested by Besiktas, as they do have some backup, a bit of flank potential coming in from the Legion. Gutter could be a dangerous source, but again, you have to send him out and you have to put him down before he gets to you.
And that's one more pick off a Shoxel. This Nook, yeah, that goes down to didn't really achieve anything. I have to say, this a lot of the if you pick a and that's a C4 kill by Caesar. It's starting. You talked about the bread loaves, and they are here. The flawless round, the first one, Bodal finishes it off, and that's one for Besiktas.
They piled them up, put them into the oven. You got yourself a nice little loaf. Eat it up. And the first round for Besiktas, an amazing one at that. Good start. Looked extremely well performed. They got the 1v1s. They got the C4s from below. And that's just another thing I like about Skyhaven. Or Skyhaven, what did I just produce out of my mouth?
That's an
Nighthaven
interesting
Labs.
idea.
That's an interesting idea. But it also kind of connects,
Protect your
even
bombs
though that
from
was a
being defused
complete
by attackers.
misworded word. It still works with what I'm trying to say. Nighthaven is a mix of maps. I feel like there's a bit of interpretation of everything. You have main breaches that connect right next to site, like let's say for Clubhouse. Then you have the horizontality from Skyscraper. You also at the same time have really good rotations from site itself that extend forward with any map that can work out with it. So it's really Nighthaven is a beautiful map that connects a lot of things, and at the same time, it
10 seconds
also
left.
gives the attackers and the defenders, I feel like, a bit of an equal chance. It's just yet another time
5
of
seconds
you really
remaining.
need to get used to it, really experiment with it, and find what are the cons and the pros
Bomb and
of the
defuse
map. On the other hand, Besiktas do have a bit of more of a favor. I'm still surprised Malila did end up allowing it to go through, even though it's their worst map. Hopefully, it won't be too much of a bother for them going into the future of these rounds, though.
And I hope not, because starting out on defense, Besiktas, I've seen them really flourish in defense quite a lot. They kind of suffer when it comes to attack, but I have to say if they rack up enough rounds, like probably 4 rounds here, they should be better off in general. When it comes to other things, the Maverick this time alive, the hole is clear to this bandit. He just throws a C4 out, barely clips. That's half health, but Tumara on the other side just gets picked off. Raxo, he kills Bodolf, and now the Fender also getting shot, 6 health. He's popping every single thing, but it's not gonna work. That Jackal, I mean, really, I have to say, they gave up on the Nook, but they kept the Roamer. And I think that's a very, very good choice. A beautiful verticality here. Goyo gets shot from 2 sides. And my god, just suddenly, Malila Titans, they are picking them apart, surely, slowly but surely.
Completely pinching out one after another. They try to retrace back towards site to really get that anchor in, but in the end, you're left in a 1v3. But Gutter puts it down. 2v4 retrade at the exact same second, leaving Shays in an awful lot of
Attackers recovered
HP.
the
That
bomb
19
diffuser.
not looking too good, but it doesn't matter. You have 3 above Besiktas, and they have Shoxel upstairs, but the site, that's not where it is. They could completely ignore it, go for a defuse. The information comes out. He's not expecting it. Shackle finds one, but in the end, it's the Jackal laying by the pool table to get the final blow.
They need to do something about this Jackal. They need to do something about the roamers in general. They're giving these guys too much information, and I think playing too defensively has sort of been the bane of Besiktas.
Mhm.
They need, yeah, that's a good pick. I like that as a warden. Just move out, even a mute. It's gonna stop a lot of things, a lot of these shenanigans from happening. And yes, there's gonna be a buck and a grim on the other side. So if everything goes to plan, I think
Defenders,
even
protect
a
your
bit of
bombs from being
information
defused by attackers.
could go a long way when it comes to Besiktas. Because they just got, again, the fish in a barrel thing. You got stuck in a couple of rooms there and you just got picked off from all sides.
Mhm. The call was for Besiktas to make, and while they did try to put some decent pressure upstairs, in the end, it was the complete pinch that was bestowed upon them, where they were left standing, and in the end, shot out, got completely denied of any type of plan they had in mind. With it, the
10
second
seconds
round,
to go.
or round number 2, will be going over to Malila Titans, evening it up. And
5
this is
seconds
just
to
one
go.
of those rare occasions where a team isn't 3 or 4 rounds above the enemy, which is a beautiful sight to see. We do love a bit of equality, and both of these teams, it was a completely one-sided round. For the first on Besiktas, and the second one, Malila had it in their hands without much of an issue.
And let's see who has an issue this time. Because it seems like the round has just started, but already we see Besiktas kind of spreading apart. They want to make headway right now to make sure no room really goes unnoticed. Because there's going to be, there are not really many roamers here. I have to say, Malala not really gotten, they're into this super multiple breach kind of thing. They have enough verticality with the Buck and also the breach potential with Maverick. There have a lot of things to do here. So if everything goes well, Besiktas they could counter it one for one every single place that they're trying to make something happen.
Sure could. Making a bit of progress in the meanwhile. Rocking that Ying, haven't seen much of her today, which is lovely. A bit of Candela action bringing upon us. As Besiktas, they do bring Teaser. The Warden has been sticking with him quite frivolously. A good counter, but in the meanwhile, seems like Malila are having a bit of a rough time getting through these breaches,
Ooh.
but not getting through the defense. A good opening is refragged over to the side of Ash. A fragger for the Wamai, a beautiful pick, as you also manage to trade it out for some ground and some time.
And just like that, they traded out one for one. And I think this is a great thing for Besiktas. No part of Malala Titans have made their way inside the site. As I say it, Shinzo does and kills Salim Karem. But they've wasted quite a lot of time. It's 1 minute on the clock, and they have not gotten that close to the site itself. And slowly, everyone is trying to make the way, but this is risky. There's so look at this angle. It's such a long one, looking straight down there into stairs, and the floor is he's trying to just brute force it open. But really, what can you do? There's going to be all kinds of utilities getting used. Okay, he hears it, so fine. Okay, the peak not really going his way. Ale Popstar gets Shoxel, but 2 versus 4. It's the that's not gonna be happening for too long. Jono gets the double, just straight up, just goes there and picks off. Bam bam.
Good amount of just open holes from everywhere. Malila, they really made sure to open up opportunities for Ulayran. They opened up the door. They went for pressure from downstairs and from any type of surface they could. In the end, they just spread out, went for it, took over. Even when they didn't have much ground to cover, they kept their utility as much as they could. They reserved it, and it worked out perfectly. Candela's pushing the mute, forcing him to go for that peak with the Flores drone from behind. He didn't know if someone was on the rotation on the main breach, so he had to either go for a swing or possibly risk getting shot out from behind him. It wasn't a choice, it was more of a risk he took, and the Factor definitely put it in as another pick. And after that, while the Miro is trying to hold the peak where Mute got shot from, she got shot from the back just because of that so-called early possession they made on that side of rafters. Whatever the case may be, Malila with her second, looking to pick it back up just a bit more, getting that advantage. First time, 1 round deficit, not too much, but it's better than nothing. Still rocking the same lineup. We do love to see a bit of Mira, a bit of Warden, a bit of Fenrir, you name it, but they don't seem to be switching it around too much. They want to stick with it, and I think they were going to rather make adaptations to their gameplay rather than their setup.
It's they really considered a couple of rumors here. I think Jono was going for the Nook, but decided on the Thermite. I mean, what works? Why? As you said, if it ain't broke. So they're gonna go with the same thing, multiple breaches, probably try to make their way inside, take care of most people on the outskirts, and just try to get whatever pick-offs they can. And usually it has worked, so they're gonna be sticking to it. I respect that. And yeah, there's gonna be a Finka, Ram, a Dokkaebi. I really like that there's a Dokkaebi in this squad. It works great with Finka. Yeah, the breach is happening instantly. There's going to be some pings going out, I hope. The Dokkaebi. Is there going to be some calls?
Attackers have located a bomb.
Probably not. But for what it's worth, pressure is being created. And that is where people make mistakes. But Besiktas, they're like a mountain right now. They are not peeking. They're just killing drones. They're standing way into the site. Not really taking any risky peeks here. So I certainly hope they know what they're doing, because the more ground they lose, the more they kind of get sequestered into like a small corner in some random place, and they get shot like they did last time. So they have to be very careful that they retain the amount of map control that they already had without giving up most of the site.
Besiktas playing a very frag-heavy deck right now, bringing a lot of explosives, which have been working out, or at least have in the past. But with it, a good gun game from Gutter. Starts it off, but he gets picked off, just like he picked off 1. Salim not sticking around for it, as he gets himself 1. Good for 2. A 4v2, double the man count for yourselves at Besiktas. Completely turn it around. Lau leaving it down to the Thermite. Goes for a plant on the desk. Criticality from below is denied, but it is getting used by the side of Milan. Malila as they get ourselves a triple, completely switching the tides. Salim does manage to pick it up, but in the end,
Whoa!
it's the R4C, the Ram to clutch it out. A beautiful round for themselves, and Besiktas falling for their trap immensely.
Oh, they almost had it. No, no. It was so
close.
unfortunate. But I mean, the way they kind of got it back. I mean, they lost so many people in quick succession. But I have to say, the return kills by Jono, absolutely on point. Really got them back into the game. And of course, Shinzo, he was right in position to take that one peak. He knew that he was there, and that really long, wide peak that he took.
Attackers need to
I'm
locate and
surprised that
defuse bombs.
he didn't get shot there. But well, that's one more round for Malila. 3-1 now.
Very close, but reaching a step further than earlier. Getting that 2-round difference could be a bit deadly. Malila, in this point of time, have secured themselves a nice draw going into the first half. If not a draw, it's either going to be a 4-2, 5-1, or a 3-3. Whatever the case is, they can't be in a minus, and that's fantastic. It's a good way to start it off. They're on the attack. It's supposedly the worst map, but I think when you were earlier making a bit of a joke saying that they're just so good that this is the worst map, that may actually be the truth here.
Yeah, very well could be. And really, I don't know. I mean, it's hard to. That last round, it was messy from both sides. So, yeah, Malila won it, but I'm not gonna say that Besiktas is really losing their grip on this game. They have it, just needs some calibration. But what I'm truly concerned about is that if you're losing so many rounds on defense when it comes to Nighthaven, I struggle to see how it's going to be any easier when it comes to offense.
It's going to be
Attackers have
interesting to
located a
see.
bomb.
I hope Besiktas can start pulling their
Again.
weight just a bit more.
There's a C4 attempt again. I have to say that this time he's not in position. If he was like lying prone right next to the track, but that's not enough. Teaser, he finds the first one. Okay, Alipapsta goes down to board off, and now just like that, Besiktas, they have started trying to get something here. That Jackal really not achieving much for his team. The Maverick not gotten a peak either. So that's 2 kills, free for Besiktas, and he sees it. He sees the elbow, and ooh, the jiggle peeking is here. This Penrid gets something here. Goyo goes there, but Salim Karim also gets picked off. That's 3 versus 3. Just like that, the advantage just goes completely away. And a couple of risky peaks, not really paying off for Besiktas. If they lose this round, I have to say that's going to be quite a hit to the morale. But 3 versus 3 is not unwinnable, Puff. And I think we could be surprised here.
For sure could be. Malila right now are looking a bit cold, but they've heated up a fire for themselves. They've heated up the situation, brought it to a 3v3. Even the HP is looking close to some degree. 1 minute and 10. Balanced time, balanced people, and now we just need a balanced situation. Whoever takes the first pick could be a detrimental way of going about it, because from then on out, it could be a frag game, but we just need to wait. C4s could be deadly. All 3 operators rock one. I don't know which of these operators have used them on the defense, but one certainly is going to be coming out. Jack will take a knock. That's going to be a good start. 45 seconds, wasting a bunch of time, and also getting one down. Not completely confirming it, but it's still a decent trade of utility for a large amount of HP.
Yeah, fair enough. But I mean, the timer's ticking down quite a lot. Yet again, the Tubarao has been tracked by the Jackal. Let's see if that gets him anything at all. They're all hiding very, very close to each other. So the shots go out. 20 seconds on the clock. Malila, they have to do so. Oh, that's a very ambitious peak right now. But he just keeps spraying. Jono, he doesn't stop. He has a lot of bullets in that gun, and that's going to be enough. Shoxel, he gets the trade on who knows. 7 seconds. You just have to delay. 6 more. 2 1. Oh no, just don't peek. Just don't peek. You dropped the diffuser. This is it. You just have to hide. And they do. Besiktas, by attrition, win this one.
They take it and they swoop it. Hiding is going to be their strategy, and you can't call them cowards because it's a win. It's a round for themselves, and it was played out well. Amazing how, although the C4 didn't manage to take out the player, in the end, it was actually a really good way of using your utility because it focused them to go for the revive. It wasted more time, and in the end, time was the most important thing for both of these teams to stick around with, leaving it in a 1v1, 3 seconds on the clock. You can go for those wall banks for as much as you want. As long as you don't connect your
Attackers
bullets
need to
onto the
locate
head,
and defuse
the
the
round
bomb.
is theirs to claim. 2 to 3, looking like we're evening it up just slowly, but not surely. We still need one more round to confirm going into the second half. And now Melila bringing out that gank yet again. We've been seeing Nook very consistently, but this time Juno
Attackers
will
are
be
recovering
swapping it out for a
location of a
Thermite.
bomb.
There's still a bit of time to see some swaps on the side of attacking, and just as I mentioned it, Dokkaebi out for Ram, Ash out for Dokkaebi, still keeping a lot of info on board, and at the same time, getting a bit more of soft support. It's not going to be necessarily a frag
10
heavy
seconds to go.
suited attack, but it for sure will be something that can keep you relying on
5 seconds to
utility.
go.
Yeah, very much so. Absolutely, I think.
Attackers are
And
heading
I'm
out
also
to
glad
defuse
that
the
it didn't
bomb.
go for the nook. It's see again, as I said, if it ain't broke, it's working for you. You're just messing up a couple of fights here and there. But I don't think you should change up the strategy or strategy overall. It's just very, very important that you keep the consistency. It's the last round in attack for Malala, and if they get one more, this could be quite a robust start for the second one in defense. Thermite starting it off very, very fast on this wall right now. But I mean, really, warehouse, you have to be careful there. There's always someone, and that is Theaza. He's gonna find Jono right instantly,
Attackers
right
recover
after he
the bomb
reaches the
diffuser.
wall. Okay, one more peek probably. Not happening. Malala doesn't want to take that risk. But
Oh
hey,
my. Caesar opened up that book on page 27 and just slid it over to 28. Got himself a beautiful one onto Juno. And what's the worst part about it all for Malila right now? That is your hard breach. That is your thermite taken off the board, now limiting you to soft breach alone with the ram and hoping to maybe go off of verticalities. Although at the same time, needing to watch out for a bit of C4 action. Shocks on Caesar surely have a bit of pounds of explosives up their sleeve or in their pocket, but hopefully you'll be able to just escape it. Flash is coming out, does try to attempt it, but Shoxel will be there to get himself the second, and that's going to be the gridlock. The support's completely out of bounds now as 130 is coming around, and we're just trying to find our steps, but you're getting tripped over time after time again as you're in a 3v5.
just mistake after mistake, I feel, and I just don't know these solo pickoffs that they seem to be trying to get. You don't always win duels, and this guy has been on point really. I mean, having to see this was the initial change that I was so looking forward to, and they're really making this work. Oh, but as I say it, it's almost like Melila. They fight back in the last possible moment. Besiktas don't seem to be, the way they start is they get this very, very good lead, but they either really hold on to it or they lose it completely. Like, it's always 50-50 with these guys, but this time the 50 will win for Besiktas. They take a very, very even score here, 3-3, and they move on to the next one as attackers.
3-3, very balanced. And if both of these teams keep their composition going into the separate roles, could be looking like the first time we actually managed to just escape and grasp away out of regulation. And finally, thankfully, after I do believe it happened only once today, people actually start considering timeouts. I love when people take timeouts. Teams, you have it for free, it's there, and you should really consider it because it can definitely get you some extra rounds. And if not, at least that, it could give you a chance to get into overtime, to break the enemy streak. You name it. A timeout is there, and it's just inviting you to use it. And Malila Titans, they're going to be wasting it in the first half match split, which is surprising. Honestly, I would have expected it to see after if Besiktas won 2 rounds in a row, 3 rounds in a row. They use it, they ruin that tempo, and they get back into it, pick it up for themselves. But that's not the case for now.
I have to, I mean, I don't know what to say until the first, as I said, this is the first change.
Attackers need to
Gonna
locate
see
and
one
defuse
round,
bombs.
but Besiktas, I know historically, not the best, not as good as they are at defending when it comes to attack,
Attackers have discovered
but
the location of a bomb.
I'm willing to be surprised because tempo is a real thing, man. It's always there. And no matter if his team just seems to be inconsistent, I think tempo carries most inconsistencies completely over the river. And I think that is what's important here. If Besiktas, they keep the tempo going for them, they had the last round, that kind of win, that kind of speed, the precision that they won it with.
5 seconds to insertion.
You can keep it forward. You can actually translate it, and you have a blitz. I'm glad to see it. I was surprised that Melilla did not use it a single time, but well, Besiktas is not going to shy away from it.
Sticking to their every now and then shields, every now and then. Gotta bring down that blitz. If it's not the Monty that's banned, or if it is the Monty that's banned, whatever the case is, we gotta see a bit of shield action every now and then. The trains are definitely conducting their business as we just see the rails being set up for Besiktas. They're going through it fast, and they're definitely ready to depart to their next journey. Now, this is going to be round number 7 coming around the corner. Melilla, they didn't stick with that blitz, but they're going to be transferring it over to the defensive side. The clash could be a deadly component for Melilla. Not only at the same time you get great information, but these are places where you really can play off of these tight corridors and just hold off an entire team just by clicking or holding one button and backing off a bit, not allowing them to get close up to you, get close and personal, punch you, you name it. The Clash is an excellent pick here, and I'm just wondering how Besiktas are going to get around it.
Yet again, shield versus shield. It's a great thing to see. Actually, I'm glad that Melilla are finally not shying away from it. They didn't use it as much in the attack, but this time they're not really pulling back when it comes to using one for defense, and they may very well need it in front of a blitz. I think having a nomad along with blitz, it's going to be very difficult for the Clash to do much. But hey, look, they're both just looking at each other, and that's going to be a simple, just hey, hi, I see you, yeah, I see you too, and that's about it. You're going to write letters to each other. You're going to have a romance completely, like and we'll meet at the same place next year, and you never meet because you never exchange phone numbers because you just looked through each other's shields at each other, and it's a romantic story. But speaking of romantic stories, this blitz is just gonna absolutely demolish this guy. Speaking of bad Tinder dates, it's almost as if, my God, Besiktas, explosive, absolutely. I have to say, didn't expect this. The kind of
Did not
maneuver
expect
that
it.
Melilla just came out with, my God.
It was absolutely baller. As bought off, making it even more one-sided as a mirror window should be. And Besiktas, even after getting timed out on, in the end, I don't see it working out for Melilla anymore. Now, yeah, that Blitz Clash interaction, you said it. It's a conversation between the two, and it doesn't get much further. But in the end, Besiktas managed to just loop around, go for a different way of approach, and got behind them. Got on their backs, choked them out, 4-3, get the advantage back, really start carrying the ball, get it into your own possession, and continue on it because now a timeout isn't possible against you anymore. You still have one for yourselves if needed, even, which I doubt would even be the situation. If they get into a streak of their own, you're not going to time out yourself
Attackers have
because,
located a
well,
bomb.
you probably want to win. I know it's a bold assumption. I know it's a big brain thing to think about, but probably both of these teams are on the verge of going towards victory. 4-3 is the score. Slowly approaching yet again. Clash being rocked about. But Besiktas don't seem to be going for a second matter on that shield. And just as I said, Shoxo decides to just, double back on it. And we have the blitz yet again, Necris.
I'm glad to see it. It's worked this first time. I can't think it won't work the second time. And there's a clash again on Ale Popstar, but hey, you know how that worked out. And it's gonna be, I think. So I think we started with before sunrise, and now we're gonna be like at before sunset. and then it's going to be before. It's going to be part 3 of the same love story we see, and let's see if this
Yep.
pans out the same way this time.
Wondering what the conflict could be. Maybe the family gets in the way.
Mm. Yes, or it's maybe an ex-boyfriend. I think
Oh,
Clash.
could be.
Yeah.
I think he's banned though. I think the Monty. I think that would be the perfect
Mm.
ex-boyfriend. But there are alternatives. There are definitely alternatives. Maybe an ex-girlfriend. Osa.
Absolutely, man. Hey, come on, love's love, right? I mean,
This is
anything
deep.
could happen.
This is
Absolutely.
deep.
And the drones are trying to make headway here, but I mean, I don't know. The Nomad, he needs to be with the Blitz right now, clearing the way. And yeah, Blitz, he's making his way inside. He's not scared. He has to. He is the one who's going to be making space for the team. He's going to be making as much as he can. And that's it. Shoxel just starts it out. And well, that's how you started. Jono goes down on the Legion. And soon enough, Shoxel goes down too. But hey, he did his job. And I think that's an entry point that people need to explore. And it's a shame that Besiktas, the rest of the team, wasn't backing up Shoxel as well. Unfortunately, that could have been more space for them. But hey, you can't have it all, you know.
And have it all just like that. For how it is, though, Besiktas, you're wasting plenty of time looking for the runaway Fenrir. And meanwhile, he could be back to sight. He could be behind you. You don't know it, and it's a guessing game. A casino you're currently in, trying to go for the same push you did earlier. This time around, there's going to be a bit of a difference. Nate's coming out, a bit of an adaptation is going to be beautiful, taking out the shield and pushing one of the shields back. Just plenty. Now going back in action as Gutter is going to be below rafters. Finds himself the opening in the situation. 45 around the clock, slowly ticking down, and you need to make some sort of progress. You wasted a bunch of utility. Now you're relying on Gutter to come up from behind. Hibana joining in. It's a two-split, a two-way of going about it. Going into sight, it's noticed though. Shoxel does try. My mistake. Schnazo does repeat or does go back to his starting position. Shotguns up close. It's going to be a difficult way of managing to landscape your way through. But a miss from the shotgun will be detrimental. Bodoff finds one, the second onto the Clash, and now just playing up close. The shotgun downs one, but these are there to back him up as the puck won't be getting finished off, and the round going yet again to Besiktas.
I mean, clearly, fortune favors the brave here. Really, I have to say these guys were on that door for an eternity. They were all, it was the love story we were all talking about, Puffo. It was just, they were looking in each other's eyes. Will it work? Will our families get together and be okay with each other? But it doesn't look like it. Clash was just like, oh no, I think my mom hates you. My mom hates you, absolutely. But then he was like, no, it's fine. Everyone will love me. Who can hate me? And soon enough, Clash hated him. Because Clash died, threw a slap on the shield, and just went prone completely, and Bodov just shot him. And that was it. I think most of it just boils down to the fact that this Clash, one side, you can only hold as you can only hold one side for so long. You know, you have to maneuver back. There are more places, probably a flank that could have happened. That missed shotgun shot obviously hurt, but there are a couple of more things that you could have done. Probably, take the longer scenic route down through the stairs and probably upstairs, backside, kind of flanking them from behind, backstabbing them. It could have worked. Could have tried. Doesn't I'm sorry. I'm losing words. I'm losing English right now, but
Yeah,
it doesn't hurt to try really.
for sure. And you know what hurts, or actually is going to be pleasant in my view right now? It's going to be Shinzo with a Boss G. But
Oh yes.
not too pleasant for Malila is going to be losing Jono in the first half minute of the action phase going down. You're barely in, going for these aggressive plays and getting punished for them time after time again. Shinzo, we love the Boss G, but Deezer doesn't enjoy it that too much himself, taking the advantage, taking the opportunity of the automatic rifle, gets one, and Gutter punishing off of missed shots. 5 HP onto Alley as it's left down to a 5v2 out of nowhere, Necros.
For all the hype for the Bosch G, in tournaments at least, we've seen this not work at all. Like it's crazy in pubs, I guess, but I don't know about this. Shoxel goes down,
Bomb
fine.
located by
That's
attackers.
a start. It's 5 health on mute. He goes down. Salim Karem finishes that one off. LA Popstar. Mm, okay. Now, a Goyo alone. Yeah,
Never
that's what
mind.
happens. Yeah.
6 foot under now.
Well, that's how the cookie crumbles, Puffo.
It does.
Besiktas, I think they're really riding the lightning right now, and I'm glad that they are because finally, I feel there's a tempo to this game, and Malala they need to be on it or lose it. One round away from losing it all.
I'm wondering where that tactical timeout is now. Malila, no clue why you used it right as the switch came about. It's like the tempo was already switched the second they were forced onto their
Attackers need to
attack.
locate and
I don't
defuse
know
the bomb.
why you would use that tactical timeout, besides maybe just, I don't know, someone needed a coffee break. Maybe you wanted to read an extra book of Harry Potter's novel. Whatever the case is, 6-3 is the score. Double is for Beshkatash, looking beautiful, and you sent it one round away. Malila are not going to be backing off of that boss. As Shoxel just keeps on rocking the slug shotgun. He loves it. But if you're going to keep going at a slug's pace throughout this match, you're getting nowhere besides losing the
10
match
seconds
that
left.
you only have today. This is the only one. Yet again, it's a best of one.
5 seconds left before insertion.
You have to believe, Puffo. You know,
I
if
do.
I was Shanzo, I
Need to
think
locate a bomb and
I
defuse
wouldn't
it.
blame the boss G. I would blame myself, and rightfully
True.
so. You know, because if it works in pubs, why shouldn't it work here? And we may be surprised. This Vigil, it's up to him really to really clear off this Blitz or this Jackal because it's going to be Jackal versus Vigil for a long, long time really. And we know how that turns out. It's there's only one way a dogfight ends, and well, we'll see it very soon. Malala, they have chosen to hunker down. They have one roamer, but the rest, all these four operators, other than the visual, they're going to be sticking to the side. And don't really think that's a great decision, especially when it comes to Blitz and Jackal and Dokebi for that instance. So I'm looking forward to Malala surprising me here, but looks difficult.
A bit variable on time. Cleared out one floor. Going about it quick as a blitz should. Speeding your way through the competition is in the blitz fashion. It's in the blood. Especially for Besiktas, as they've been completely rolling through their competition, just driving over by the course like it's not even an option for Malila to put up a bit of a
Whoa!
polygon as Theezer uses the distraction of the blitz, takes out Shinzo. That's your roamer. You're completely locked in sight now. And any type of push you're going to try to make, it's going to get shut down. You have the C4s, and that's all you have left before impending doom. Quick progress as another pick onto the mute gutter, getting a second. Ali on board, one from behind. Blitz won't be able to contest it, but will be getting back off. Finka boosts in hand, 110 on the clock, and Malila did manage to pick off one, but you need one more to equalize it.
I this visual needed to make things happen. I mean, you know what? All jokes aside, you have an SMG with the Boss G. It's
Attackers
not
have
really
located a bomb.
that far fetched to think that you won't get a kill, but you just got outmaneuvered. The Shoxels is still getting it, man. This guy, he doesn't seem to stop. This guy's blitz has been like the MVP for the rest of this, the second half of this round. My God, this guy has been making more space than probably any kind of re- replacement surgery. I don't know what I was going to say here, but Bodov gets two, and two versus one. This game is more or less over, or is it? Is this Goyo going to clutch this? Bring it back for Malala. Give them a fighting chance with overtime. I don't want to peek, but yeah, that's not going to happen. That's a GG. Besiktas are your winners.
Are your winners indeed. Third match of the day will be theirs. A good score to finish it off as a 7-3 includes us with yet again a bit more of a one-sided scale, but in the end, all great matches. I feel like all of these teams put up a great amount of effort. We've seen adaptation even from the people who were in the underdog situation, great attempts at clutches, you name it. It was all a great time to be around. And while, though, of course, the sad rule of there can only be one winner still sticks around, it is going to be today's Group Stage Division number 1. We still have some more upcoming. Do make sure to keep an eye out for that. And yet again, thank you so much for all the players for playing and participating. Thank you for the production, Nick and Unnamed Gamer. Absolute blast of a time they gave us. These are the people that allow us to watch these games. And thank you, Necris, for sticking alongside me, getting that dad pun spirit out of me, definitely making a bit of jokes with me on the way. And it was a great time casting with you.
Absolutely. It's no mini, my friend. And oh, look, we have something here to watch. Hey, come on,
Sundays.
man. I mean, yeah, see? So, here are the points. Care to guide us through it, Puffo?
Surely. After today's matches, Bon Voyage is going to be still sticking to first place. No Meanies getting their very nice claimed victory will be going on second, followed by NXT and Besiktas, who were also today's winners. Ryzen following on fifth, Fraternity, Spirit Gaming, Malila ranked, and BEE Sports will be then following for the last couple of places. And with that, these are the current standings. We still have four more future matches upcoming, so these could change at any given moment. But this is just a bit of a pedestal to give us some sort of basic understanding of how good these teams are in the very early stages. It could change, but it's something to stand on at least for now.
Absolutely. And that doesn't, it doesn't make a difference because today was so action packed that I think we're really spent by now. I think
Yeah.
such high octane games, one after the other. Yes, a bit one sided. Yeah, but okay, fine. The Besiktas game, I will say it was adaptation, not one sided. Okay,
Mhm.
Besiktas really they read they read the game, they understood it, and they took the steps that they needed to take, and a very well deserved win. And not taking anything away from Melaila, really, I have to say these guys, they're really good. They gave Besiktas a run for their money in the first half. Then crumbled kind of in the second one. The love story didn't really pan out. I think in the end, mom was the factor, and I think the dad passed away on the deathbed and signed the
Oh,
rest of the property off to the brother or something, and then that was it. I think that's what happened to the clash. So yeah, don't pick shield operators because their fathers are not reliable. I guess I don't know. It's
yes.
I don't know what the moral of the story is, but I'll tell you what. Love's a fickle mistress, Puffo, and facing shield operators against each other, it's only going to invite chaos, and chaos it did invite. I'm happy for that. I'm happy that it was a chaotic game because we had a fun day and I had a fun time with you, Puffo. Absolute pleasure. Absolute pleasure. This has been a blast. It's such a
It has
great way to
been.
spend a couple of hours here and there watching some R6, shooting craps. It's fun.
It was a blast. Today's matches, action packed. We had a bunch of everything and a bunch of the usual, which makes for a good balance, a good yin yang overall. But I do believe it is time for us to call it a day. We are tired. Probably you guys are just waiting to go into your cozy beds right now. Outside, it's cold. You're behind that blanket. It is like a montane shield for yourself, which is a bad comparison, seeing as how much chaos
It's
the shields bring.
great.
But thank you so much for watching, and we will be seeing you yet again soon enough. So stay tuned for when the next EON match is live.